Angel.
Well done.
It's just due to his consistency at the top level, consistently being able to play regardless of the role.
Just to give you a little statistic, Kaza, one for the folks at home. Martin is 1 kill off 1,000, which is absolutely insane to think about.
Something that we were speaking about a little bit earlier, but we'll have to see how much impact that's going to have in the game at hand. In terms of this round, full by both teams. Ruxic already reinforcing A, and Op on Koala Noob on the other extremity. KC need to be diligent in how they look to manage this situation, and already with the turret broken in mid, that's where Navi's protocols start to get tested, and you can see Hero just repositioning himself towards Kitchen, actually. Oh, a little loose on the trigger finger there.
I mean, if Navi really want to clear out this Viper's pit, you have the lockdown on Elite. Killjoy Ultimate would do well to clear out that A side, and that's where the spike is.
Yeah,
I actually would like to see utility invested, suppression on Ruxic. He'll be unperturbed by the situation, but walks into Danger, and Danger fires back. Sadak with one, Hero here out in the open, and down the long hallway of Kitchen. It's a long road back to the A site for Navi.
KC find themselves a little pocket of domain to work within, but remember, it was only Martin that was seeing it. Aves activates at the right time.
This is getting a little bit chaotic now, and with Aves being able to pick that one up, control is restored, order maintained as far as KC are concerned. Still Aves coming in late, has the salvos if need be. The wingman can try and make things a little more difficult for the attack to try and digest. It does get the spike to half, but that's where Aves brings us back to reality. Angel dealt with. Last player sat in spawn, it's Shao, and Aves has him caught. KC back to winning ways. That's number 5.
Clinical is the words that I would use, and I think right now Sadak is completely out-calling Angel. The defense are not dealing with these mid-lurks, and that's time and time again, 3 or 4 times, that Navi have found themselves a player or 2 down.
So we're immediately going to see a timeout come through from the Frenchman against his countryman's organisation, I suppose, I don't know.
Yeah.
But both of these teams, of course, looking later down the line into the year, we know each of them rebuilding. Import of Sadak, of course, now up against a regional veteran in the form of Angel. It must be said the goal is champs, and that's what you're thinking about at the end of the line. But in terms of the game right now, the big takeaway from that is that Navi had a good setup, but KC just so slow and methodical, and having conditioned that mid-pressure you were talking about, it feels like they've got their finger on the pulse. They can always just change up how it is exactly they're approaching each and every lane. It's making life very difficult for Navi.
And I think as well, like the other thing about KC, and I love that you speak about the conditioning aspect of it, because the one round where Navi looked to actually approach mid and fight it, right? KC just sent it A, and they were slow to respond to that. So Navi right now, on their pistol round, I would really like them to try and push the limits here, right?
There you have it. A millennia for Martin, 1,000 kills in VCT EMEA. A player only just joining since partnerships began, but great to see yet another face from Challengers. Suddenly become one of the most feared players coming into this playoff stage, it must be said. He has had a good start to this map.
It's weird that people not playing duelists in Icebox. I feel like it's such a valid thing to do, just play.
A little gap in which to work with, and there is KC players here in the field while actually jump back.
Nice.
Again, KC, like they've managed to avoid this mid play that Navi have set up as well.
Nice.
And I think that's exactly what you're doing in this round if you're KC, because you know of the threats that lie on this Navi side. As we said many a time, Eco's not something that you're consistently looking at them potentially being able to post, but one off of a lockdown,
they're playing
Thrash, Hero, Shao, and Angel, of course, having the Armageddon available. There are 5 Navi players on the other side of Spawn, and they're happy to commit it here.
Yeah, they've sent it back in, and they're able to get one, but at the same time, Zugetsu is completely cleared up. I don't think a shorty will work at that range. KC's rifles certainly do, and I think they're moving through this with ease at this point, Hazard. The only thing is, time is getting low and that spike needs to go down.
It's the only remaining pressure in the round, as you say. 15 seconds, less time. Once that spike goes in, Angel, it's a hit and hope. And I have to say, coming out of the timeout, you weren't fully expecting those ults to be invested, but this is something that we saw yesterday as well against BBL when they called the pause. You had, it was like a stun contact for an orbital strike. The fact they're so willing to invest such heavy pieces into these rounds where it's like just a couple of sheriffs, it does leave you scratching your head a little bit at what they think those win conditions are.
I'm blind, I'm flashed, I'm bolted, man.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I just feel as if NAVI are a bit too eager at the same time, right?
Wait, why is my mouse?
Don't know, man. Like, I feel as if like it's ultimates that could be easily used in this round, and will they have a couple here to retake back into the A side? Is the weaker
is getting too old
of the
for
two.
this game. It's too much for him to handle, honestly.
I'm also just looking at
give this
Sadak's
guy a
null
break.
command
He
because
deserves
one of
to
the unique
retire.
interactions
He's just
with there being
play worse and
the
worse.
KO
and
in
just,
play is that KC do have a natural counter to this double layering of smokes, and sure, the first line of that defense will go down, the toxic screen removed. The question is, with the knife coming back up and all of this extra util in post, is how do KC want to try and play it? It looks like Martin wants to go on the offensive.
The thing when you
1,000 and counting as he adds yet another.
For info, no?
Still those big ults for NAVI to work with, though.
I hate that. I mean, okay, you have lockdown, but you can still leave one for the retake.
Players ready to try and counteract this and fight in towards screens.
It's brilliant. Armageddon goes in, you've got a fragment there as well, and boom, lockdown evaporated. KC using the tools they had available, and NAVI are going to call it quits. Martin even in a position here to potentially take a gun away. Does think better of it though. Gives Angel the time of day, but I have to say, it just feels like KC are one step ahead in how they're planning out these rounds.
It's another sided map,
I even thought that they were going to set up Martin to go and fight screens, but instead, don't even need to risk a player, right?
Like,
just,
what is this called,
they just seem one or two, in fact, maybe even 3 steps ahead of what NAVI want to do.
I mean, we talk about finding feet in playoffs, it doesn't matter how many steps. KC
again.
are in front.
I want NAVI
by
to lose.
6 rounds
I always
now.
was like,
even
NAVI
just the fact that Aves was so close to getting that Armageddon, and then that's actually what they used to counter the lockdown. Lots of thought being put into this.
Now, like,
another gun round coming up.
They're playing so badly.
NAVI at the very least have been able to hang on to a lot of those weapons, including the operator.
Make
Koala
Angel
is on the
retire.
other side of the map. B getting a look in from KC.
Lucky to escape with his life there, but
and
we're
again,
back towards
these
looking at mid, right?
which they
and NAVI
can't
have dedicated hero at least to watch on to that
deal
spot.
with.
I'd say as well, looking at the comps,
what do you do about
it also
this?
gets to admit,
And
huge
then
duel
you
wins
have
it.
that
And with
guy
that,
just
it feels
fully
like
aimed in and he
this
misses
NAVI
his
defensive
shots.
setup has almost completely collapsed.
It's not
The
even...
Velo control taken early, that now getting re-cleared. NAVI will know that there's nobody here right now, but KC are just going to go ahead and take it right back.
Seeing the timing, NAVI now look
they
towards
hear
A,
all
this
the
field
rotates.
drone, pulling
And
players
now they
across.
hear the drone.
And KC
This is
slow roll
GG.
once again.
This is so GG, man. They're just
Mid,
getting
yeah,
outclassed
they're going to
so
think that
much.
this is towards A, but unfortunately, utility on B pulls them back.
KC have already bypassed this. Sadak gutting out the site itself, just making sure he has the space for the spike plant. All over from Koala. NAVI pretty quick in how they're looking to retake.
At the same time, look at those post-plant utility. Molly on Sugetsu, Sadak. I mean, Elite's got some of his own.
Yeah, because they didn't bait out any. They were playing retake, but then
this is
KC
going to be really hard for NAVI to get through.
Oh wow.
It's a kill already though from
If
Angel.
they
That
win
softens
this-
things up massively. Martin missing. Not a player yellow side. All of them backed up into main. Fragment out. It was the salvos as well that we saw. It's a bit of a cluster on site right now, but Angel is just sticking this all the way through, holding the line, and KC nowhere to be seen. Sadak, the last player left. The final remnant of this
I'm talking
standoff.
about Angel
A well-executed
and then
retake. And a very
Okay.
much needed one at
I
this
don't
stage in
even
the
have
half.
words. How do you
Yeah,
lose that?
it was a nice
round?
retake,
You have
but
so
what
much
happened to the post plant that
you
was layering through mid
And
as
how
well?
do you lose this
I mean,
fight?
sure,
You're
Sugetsu gets the
fleeing
first
in.
here, but on top of that, there was
Ew,
further
bro.
players to come
Just
through
drag
later in
your
the post
crosshair
plant.
down. What
And there was
was
so
that
much
TP,
utility
brother?
that KC could work with.
Oh, wow, nice
Rather than
shot.
taking the jewels, I know Navi tried to go and look for
Wait,
them,
Angel
but
actually
just
got
use that
killed.
utility and depend
Okay,
upon it.
bro.
You don't need to fight.
Oh. This is
Wallace
ballsy.
still standing. A walk down mid
Wait.
to frisk KC.
Oh, I should have
Oh, it's
gone too.
info again, but a quick trade.
Oh,
It's only Ruxic walking down long.
At the same time though, right, you get rid of the tail, that's clearing utility gone, and not only that,
Yeah.
post-plant utility as well. That could be a really big
True,
pick
it's
when
the
we
best
look
one
at
they
the
could have
post-plant for
gotten.
KC.
Oh wow.
Moving back over
Nice
towards
smoke
B.
though. They're reading the
Clearing out this
opus here.
pocket. Seems
Well,
like
they
both
should know it's a-
sides
yeah, they're
grouping up
rolling
on
towards
A.
A.
KC
This is
already
nice
giving away their
goal
steps.
by
The alarm
Hilda.
bot contact hit.
I didn't like
Hero
the solo
offside. They've still got
walk
the
that I
thrash
had
and
because
a lot
it
of those
just
key pieces from the
didn't have to
previous
work,
round.
Yeah, this retake
They
should
never
be
clear
pretty strong coming
screens, I
back
just
in.
realized.
Spike plant, going to be successful
Wow.
here, but Navi are coming straight in, they're going to be
You
quick
too.
here.
They
Oh,
are
wow.
immediately on the site.
Angel.
Shao picking
What?
up his first.
He
Angel
actually
right by
gets that.
side.
Wow.
Looking like another successful retake. That's unless Sugetsu can do something to
Ah,
stop this,
okay.
but
Nice
Navi
retakes. Okay.
bearing on down to his
No,
position.
but,
have
but
their
this is how you
third.
should do.
A second
Uh,
successive
you cannot
round for the
play full
first time in
retake
this
from the
half,
start of the
as the
round because
defense
they're just not gonna
continues to
waste
show
their
signs of
util.
life.
You have to
And I
like
think
show
as well,
yourself
KC
somewhere,
at the
so they
minute,
have to re-clear and
maybe
use
letting a
util for you.
chance slip to really extend their lead. I mean,
they're finally making some
7-4,
adjustments.
7-5. That's not a bad half at all,
Yeah.
and that's why we're going to see Egg and Zeish introduce
That
themselves
was a nice shot.
into this match for the first time.
Yo, how when you're 33 or
boys.
35 by now? I don't even know.
KC
How do you have
timeout
such a reaction
of
time?
the game.
Sometimes, yeah. I'm saying sometimes.
I think, you know, it's important to mention as well, stylistically, this comp already is very on brand with the type of Valorant that Sadak had been pushing for a long time. When you look back towards his stint on Loud, most well known there as an X-Champs winner. He likes to play with all the chips on his side of the felt, you know? When you are in that situation, you saw it a couple rounds ago, where he can move up B long, it's constantly going to be re-smoked, especially because Na'Vi are also running a similar comp here. Just complete information denial, all cards at his chest,
I just would like
and
to
forcing
see
them to try and re-clear,
Euro
forcing them to
plays and
commit
Smash.
pieces to the space, because
I feel like
the
this-
change that I've seen in the last
this should
couple
have been
now is that
so much more
Na'Vi are
fun with
immediately
the
getting bodies in
Euro
place
this
and then just
game.
flooding, not allowing KC to actually get the kind of setup that they want.
Maybe even like
and when this
ISO.
chaos
ISO
does
is
break
pretty
out,
funny.
it doesn't feel like you
on
know, the
attack,
communication
not on
is there
defense,
anymore.
of course, but
I think as well, with both teams having similar comps, right, it really does come down to the game
Angel
plan
top free game.
and the calling
Wait,
structure
what
and
happened?
what the game
no.
plan actually is
Oh,
from
no.
both teams right now. KC
What?
well
Shao
ahead.
2 in 8. Isn't that Shao
Following out,
like
looking to challenge mid
28
with
as
his
well or
operator.
something?
That's a fight to look towards.
Is different angle, fresh perspective from
He's
the
just playing a
previous
different
round.
game. Look at how he's sitting down. Oh,
Homemade
what?
one way that drops in.
Yo,
and Koala goes
what?
down on the other side.
What? That was
He seemed to have the
ambitious.
right idea. That was really
my
well read.
It is, and on top of that, that's a massive
Now
point
Angel is just classically
lose if
freezing
you're
and not
Navi.
knowing what to do.
Because Koala's operator, very quick, we all know that, but it's also a part of the map that he can watch and allow Navi to gain information through that. History for Navi on A, and Casey
Oh,
are
wow.
walking straight into this.
Hello.
Six spotted the first of those players, but he'll be without the poison cloud to try and face it. Angel goes solo.
Yo,
Sadak
Shao
taking
just
the
baits
duel
him.
against
What the hell
game
was that?
leader on the other side and backtracking his footsteps. Shao into the utility.
What the hell was that?
Martin. Aerial.
Take your time.
And able to get the
Nice
pickup.
timing.
Ruxic still hanging around here though. Playing from below the pipes in the maze, Sadak flashing in. It just feels like wherever Na'Vi try and go, they're isolated, alone, and now removed from the situation. Hero the next to
He's
give
having-
a roll of the
he's
dice, but
having-
you don't feel any better about his odds than what we've
Oh.
seen up until this
Hold on.
point, but it starts well.
They're just giving
that
them
was
solo
beautiful.
engagements.
It gets better. And
Yo!
Hero is going to
Okay,
find all
okay.
three.
I thought of
triple
that
kill
play
on the site
myself
from the
in
young
ranked.
star.
That you
And a Red Bull
shift
clutch
thing
that carries on the
on the
Navi
rope.
streak and the comeback.
Yeah, that's so big
Yeah,
pro.
I mean,
I like that play.
I don't even know.
It's just so
Like,
calm
KC
about
just so
him.
disconnected. I can understand the first right. You don't know where Hero's coming from. This is forgivable. Martin, though, I don't know
No,
what's
Marty has
happening
been
here.
doing so many
And
mistakes
then the
this
last,
game.
it's just
So
so
many
easily given
mistakes.
to Hero.
It's incredibly frustrating for Zaj.
Oh
Hero coming
God,
up with
they're
another
shouting
massive
so
clutch
loud.
as he has been dependable
Yeah,
in
that
those
was
situations
really
so far
massive.
for Navi.
On
Certainly not
Icebox,
the
going
first
4 and 8
1v3
is
I've seen
pretty
him pull
fun,
off this
fine on
stage.
defense.
It won't be the last either.
Okay, what is this?
Towards B we go. Straightforward from KC. This has been a massive
How?
point for
How
Navi.
is he dead?
The entry
Oh,
goes
it's
to
mid.
Sugetsu once
Okay.
again through that mid duel.
Exactly,
these
and I'm glad you
smokes
raise
are
it because it's
so-
probably the third time in, the last 4 rounds that we've seen that first pick come through mid. It's an absolute
What is this
oasis
ult?
for KC, but
But I
even
thought
though
it's
they've
here.
been picking up these kills, still doesn't feel like they're getting the most value from them.
How did Casey not even move a single
Roost
inch?
has the op here, not
Oh, wow.
Koala. We're going to get the null command coming straight through. Players won't have the utility to work with, and Ruxic has a little bit of
was
an angle, but can't quite
close.
find
Oh,
what he's
wow.
looking for, and that's an incredible spam.
Okay, Sadie
Sadak
Lodi.
just reverse engineering the smoke, plops down the molly, and
Oh,
Spike
man.
goes in. Sugetsu still hanging around in middle.
Ew,
Shao
why
does
are you
remove him from
taking
the
these
situation.
fights?
Looking at that post-plant utility, KC don't have all too much. They want to fight this on the front foot, but the thrash into the smoke could be huge. How many does he get? Absolutely
okay.
nothing. It's
Okay, that was
Martin
nice
with
shot.
3, and so KC do come up
Okay,
trumps
man.
before the end of the opening 12.
Yeah, it feels like death by 1,000 cuts. But
Wait. Oh, I didn't want to. I wanted to see. What did I want to see? Oh, this one. Yeah. All maps. Update. Angel on the 44% headshot. That's what I wanted to see. Koala and Opping and 44-2. Yo, their former teammate just absolutely shitting on them. Because I get to play for them for so long, so he knows absolutely every play. How many? Wait. They won against Giant X, lost against Heretics, and won against Vitality? What was this game? Okay, Durka on top, but what? Koala 40 kills? Okay, whoa. Wait, how did this go wrong? And Angel not going negative? Hello? How? How did you lose against... Wow. So Vitality are out, doesn't that mean it? Wait, today it's NAVI versus KC and what else? Foot versus Vitality, okay. Foot will lose, I feel like. And then this is just gonna be Liquid. Yeah, Liquid are playing nice. I want to see Liquid win. Heretics Liquid upper final. Heretics win. Then Liquid go down. I feel like KC will win this, but I'm not sure. This is Vitality. Then against these two, Vitality wins again. Vitality, Liquid win. Lower final will be Liquid, and grand final is Heretics against Liquid, I feel like.
They need to get off of this roundabout, otherwise it's going to be an early exit.
But
yeah,
it's so
I think
delayed,
for me,
like,
Navi, the last time that they played this through, they actually impressed me a lot with some of the callings, some of their ideas and how they wanted to approach this.
3 years nearly.
We'll see exactly how that
telling you,
continues
Sugetsu can just
as they
greet them
move
and
on
that's why
towards
stop
the attack.
shouting.
Carmine Court
Okay, stop
feel like
shouting
the
so
big
much.
brother
Okay.
in this matchup in terms of they understand how the comp is being played out
Wow,
and how to
insta push
counteract
A.
what Navi want to do.
That's insane, dude.
Last pistol on the defense. KC did a very good job at highlighting the
Oh
flank.
wow.
Being
No,
super proactive
no.
on this
Just keep
defensive
watching
side.
that. Yeah,
and
yeah,
already
keep watching
Heroes
that.
completely isolated under belt, but calling for backup. There's a brawl going down,
What
and
the
KC
hell,
draw first
bro?
blood.
You see, it's a brawl, it's more like a beatdown. That flash is perfect,
Okay,
though.
nice,
In Navi's favour.
thing.
Martin
Oh wow,
trying to
Martin is
escape,
one
but
shot.
he's lucky to do.
Okay.
Just
Nice
that.
re-clears. I didn't like the toxic peak because he didn't wait
have
for
a bit
his
of a
team, but
notification through Elite's alarm bot.
everything else was fine.
Complete information void on A right now. Navi
Angel doesn't know about the alarm
moving
bot,
up
does
on
he?
long. Steps soon to be heard by Elite. His utility
Oh
helping
wow, insta
dictate
headshot
the
it.
pace of the flow through mid as Sugetsu has bought a rotation. But the spike is soon to go
what?
down and the spam's not landing.
Molly to deny the wingman.
Will not deny
Yeah,
that.
just about.
How is the
No
molly
problem for
not
the
killing
wingman.
the wingman, dude? What?
Martin still has that paranoia
How
though.
much HP does
That's
that
the other
guy
thing
have?
to consider moving into this. And well, as for Navi, the
Off,
utility
they're
is looking
off.
pretty barren. It's all about these
Oh.
gunfights, and Navi continue to
Oh.
win them through this round. Martin,
How?
though, still up and alive.
Wait, they're
You know
all
just
low.
how
Don't
good
peek,
he
don't
can
peek, don't
be.
peek, we're
More
low.
damage being
Oh.
dealt,
Oh.
although Sugetsu now having to
They're
clutch
still
up
so
another
long.
1 versus
Oi,
3,
oi.
and both players are low. This is doable.
Oh.
So lucky to
Oh.
escape here.
Yo,
And well,
yo,
just
this
with
was
that, Navi will
so
get that
close.
pistol round.
It was a 3v5
Navi
at one
winning
point.
every single
But,
pistol
like,
round
holy
yesterday
shit.
against the team which led it statistically BBL. They're still going out in straight sets from that matchup in the upper bracket. So I'm looking now at can
What
they
was
build
that
on
by
from this. It was a
whoever
nice
the
2v1
KO
at
is?
the end for old
Okay.
time's sake from former teammates against Sugetsu.
That's why I'm not fighting, boys.
That's why I did fighting,
Happy to
boys.
take a back seat.
And he's
It's like
doing
the
well,
most
considering we
angel
saw that
clip
statistic yesterday,
ever.
but how he's improved
my
his
God.
first death rate.
Not only that, helping support the younger members on the team. Sure, Hero had his rookie year last year, but
Oh,
even
what is
there,
that?
Rooksik walking
What
into 3
was
players,
that?
never going to get all of them. So just backtrack. Yeah, the comms there. Hero asking for the support,
Holy.
knowing that KC do like to get very active.
He missed his jump.
This time, though, it's a full rotation over towards A. 4 players to greet Navi, but that spike should go down first.
Yeah, I really like this
Are they gonna
response. There was,
deny?
3 players
They
towards the B
tried.
side. Rooksik's called that, and well, the response from Navi is to immediately hit A.
They don't
KC,
know.
though, very
Oh.
quick on the mark.
nice.
The timing nearly works
Oh.
out.
Careful,
for
don't
Carmine
die.
Court, but at the same
Wait,
time,
Angel has a
Navi
classic
have
what?
dealt with every duel that's come their
Where
way.
did that one come from? Why does Angel have a
Not
classic?
really much to fall back upon here if you're KC either. It's
Okay.
a well
He's-
played
oh,
round
because
from
he's not
Navi as
fighting.
far
I
as they're
forgot about that
concerned.
one.
I
Wait,
think
what are
at
they
this point,
doing? Oh,
all
they're
the
dying to
since
spike. Okay.
Sadak right now has been like, look guys, we're not going to
That's
win
why
these
I'm not
duels, we're not going to
fighting,
win the
boys.
post plan, so let's deny them the ultimate orbs, and I
Wait,
think it's
will
the
Angel
right call
die
here.
and get the
Absolutely.
orb? Or what is he gonna do now?
Sort of checkbox up on my list, my little
I
Navi
feel like Angel
list
should
right
just
now,
die to
I
spike.
think is
It's better
how
for
they're gonna
him.
approach this bonus.
Oh,
As you see Hero
okay.
on his pistol, get one more on the way
Hero
back
actually,
out.
that's huge. He has
Now with
ult
the
now.
lockdown,
no?
So you can see in terms of ults, they're actually
Yeah,
built
he
more
actually
towards
did get
that
ult from
thrash.
that
Still
gun.
something to be thinking about. Not really seen the full implementation of that just yet. What this purchase looks like, because I think a couple of times yesterday on their bonuses, they were like forcing up
Yeah, I
really
would have
heavily
shit my
when they
pants
lost
running into
players.
something like that.
In terms of
Just
the money
4
here, I mean,
people
it looks
holding.
good.
Even better
I'm-
than it should be, guys. We have. I
Got
said-
one.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're happy, right? Things are on track right now, and
Yeah, it's
with this
getting
being a huge purchase for
fixed
them, a
by
swing
now.
round, because KC
What is
are
that
massively going
zoom,
to
dude?
struggle if they
Who
lose
made
this.
it up?
100%.
Oh, hello.
It's mid where we'll see this
Oh,
battle
wow.
start. Elite,
This
though,
double up
is
is
the one who
insane.
gets things off to KC's side, and
What?
they've traded things down to still an advantage in their favour.
Yo, that was so
Navi's
weird.
response
And
towards
there's
the
no
A
way he
side,
reads
Martin
this.
ahead of the
Yeah.
mark, and will even find
Ah,
the spike.
yoy.
And he's buying more time for his teammates to come and support him.
No, how does he get out? How does Martin do that? An escape artist,
my
Houdini on the A site. But Navi back
Bruh.
into that situation.
I was
Felt
just
like
about to
they were
say how
so
well they're
separated
playing.
at times. We do see it in these moments where just
What
slight
was that
lapses in
mid peak?
concentration.
Like, you don't have any
I mean,
smoke.
even then,
You
they
see
had
one
2 players
person
re-clearing, they had
holding
their
like that,
hero
you
built.
insta-call for a smoke,
This is
and then
the
you peek.
frustrating
The
part
one
about
guy
Navi
in...
is like finding yourself in a
yeah.
position to build that momentum, start to move forward in the rounds, and just letting it slip.
Yeah.
Just when you think it's the light at the end of the tunnel, the oncoming traffic heads in your direction.
He
But
should blind, he should go top
can
side
Rooksik
or
do
something.
anything for
And
us
hide
here?
behind the boxes. Maybe take the first... Oh, they
Another
know.
Turkish player to take on the
I
1
would be
versus
pushing
3.
if I was him. Yeah, go top if
Make
you
that a
hear
1
me.
versus 4
Oh,
as
no.
Martin is still somehow alive.
Ruxic needs to go looking for a pick, and it needs to be clean, right? The unfortunate thing is that drone has identified exactly where he is, so he's not going to have much of a chance here.
Not at all. Ruxic looking for a head in the shop window, can't find it. Martin denying any opportunity for them to build that momentum, and it's something that's happened a couple of times now,
Angel?
which is frustrating to look
What
up.
is
In
that,
terms of what
Mr. Angel?
sorry, KC did well here. Just reading the
And
situation.
how do you not get him?
This is
Yo!
ridiculous from Martin.
Yo, how is he not
So
dead,
unfortunate
dude?
from the spray at
How?
the same time.
That's
Oh
it.
my
And I think
God.
for
It's Sadak, dude.
He's not, bro.
No way, he's
there
just
can only
dead.
be one. Yeah. Still though, a bye to come back into this. All hope is not lost. It was just a bonus round. We have to remember that.
Yeah, but it was a
Seems
heavy
as if
bonus
NAVI
round.
want to hit this straight into A.
Yeah, they have all. Wait, that's a fight?
As you say, it's the
Oh,
Angel
man.
going on. Dizzy in, players blinded in that AoE. So as it drops, Xiao's able to recover.
Wait for 10
and Navi gets
seconds.
so much space early
Wait,
round.
no,
Look at
don't use
Ruxic
paranoia,
walking up
please.
tube.
Oh,
Taman close to the turret.
wow.
I mean, could call for a smoke to come and support.
Do they
from
know about
Koala.
this gap?
Still not spotted though. While he sits around in this position, AC will invest utility to try
nice.
and clear. Hearing those steps.
Oh,
Backup
wait,
is now
is this guy gonna read this?
Yes, one versus one.
Oh.
He's not even
Oh,
caught.
no, no, no,
At least
no,
the
no, no,
press
no,
is
no,
here
no.
to try and
Oh,
cover any
oh,
rotations.
hold on, this guy
Massive
locked
from the
in.
Turkish
Holy,
controller.
that was a nice shot.
What does Navi do to respond to this though?
I mean, the ball is in Navi's court. They're just going to slow the pace all the
Koala
way
should
down,
just know
force
that he
KC
can
to make
TP
an
to yellow
investment, try and
without
trade out
any-
space on the
anything.
map. You can see Sadak is looking towards A.
They should know by now that
As
they're
fate
not
would have
playing
it,
yellow
B
at
is
all.
the site under threat.
So they can
There's
just
only
leave
Elite here to deal with
Koala
it.
to lurk up there. Ay ay ay.
That
Ay, ay,
he's gonna
ay.
be clean, but at least Kill has got
Elite.
something
Doesn't
to
look
work
like
with.
the elite.
All three players though, all on their
Oh wait,
lonesome.
NAVI.
And Ruxic once
Oh,
again
wow.
coming in from mid.
Sitting in the snow
Oh.
pile, just looking
Oh.
to split this up.
No,
Martin
what is
removes
that?
him, though,
You have
and
so
now
much
Navi are the
time,
ones with
bro.
their
Just
backs to
take
the
your
wall.
time.
Flashes, have all the
Just
utilities
chill,
you could possibly
please.
want
They're
to
getting
come back
squeezed.
into
Oh
this one.
wow,
Martin
huge
uses the
kill.
ultimate to try and join up with his teammate, his leader Sadak, as he moves through B long.
There's
But
no time
Navi
for this.
have moved forward. They've changed the goalposts, and now KC have got a really tough problem here. Martin trying to use a smoke to get on and set a spike, but Navi are so aware of what's going on.
Where did this guy
Kill
come
from Hero as well
from?
there that just lends Navi the advantage.
It's
and
always
as
nice
soon
to
as
see
they
Angel
have
frag.
note of those final few positions, playing off of each other really nicely.
How did they not know that he could be through? That's my question.
Performance is a
This
word
was a
which we've
really
brought up
nice
quite a
shot as
few
well,
times
but then
when
he
referencing these
overheated.
teams, and I think it counts for Navi just as much as it does KC.
Oh, he didn't
terms of
even
the extra
aim for
coaching
the.
staff
What
that
the
they relied
f-
upon to
Okay,
get
he
them up to
did, but
scratch.
still.
To bring them
Yeah,
to
what the
previous
hell?
M80 levels if it's Koala or all the rest, just having the comfort of someone like Hero on this Killjoy or Cypher, of which he prefers to the Vice he was playing
Wait, this is
So yes, you need to be
defense
careful
smoke?
here.
Yeah,
in
it
the early
is.
stage.
Oh wait,
He's
I
had the
like
gecko, but he
this.
doesn't know there's another.
He's solo.
Ooh,
just
your
knows it.
Angel
We've
just
seen that one a few
knows.
too many
How does
times
that
before.
guy get the
Martin
kill?
does
How does
isolate the
Martin
lurk,
get
and with
these
that,
kills?
KC
I don't
do go level in player
understand.
numbers. There is a little bit more support on the B side of the map this time as well, though. and
Oh,
the
this is
plant
nice
yet to go
delay.
through.
Yeah, the delay coming through from Carmenco to get players into position to flood retake is
Oh, it's a
absolutely
save
massive.
from them.
But remember, Sadak is only on a pistol.
And that ghost can't
Yo.
do enough to deny.
Yo,
but
what is
the rest of
that?
KC played
Shao,
it.
you're older than
Others
Angel or
and
what?
Elite from up top, dropping
Oh,
in the
nice
stun.
shot.
Koala gets his though and gets out. 3 on 3, but the playing field is skewed in favor of Navi.
Oh no, wait, this is a
How close
huge
paranoia to the
pair.
back of yellow positioning is so
Oh.
constricted, and that's where KC have a vice
Angel,
grip.
Angel,
Can
please,
do
Angel.
any better
No.
for us in the clutch? The salvos are up, and the time is ticking on down. Even more onto Elite. 6 points of health. 1
Yes!
point. Do it, they nearly line up.
No!
It's Martin again, and with time on his
Fuck.
side, he can
I
take
wanted him
Carmen Core
clutching.
up to 10.
No, 1.5
The
seconds.
voltage reached the
Angel
big
should
round
just
for
be playing a
Carmenco
freaking
to
phantom
win
always.
out.
Damn
Navi,
it.
when you think
Come
that they've
on,
bound
one
themselves
Angel
away
clutch and
into
it
the
keeps
B-side,
him in
away to
VCT for
get
2
within
more months.
touching
I swear.
distance of their
He clutched
opponents.
that one against Fnatic.
goes the
That
other
saved
way.
his career for a long
And
time.
now,
And now if he would have clutched this, he would have stayed. What is the shot, man?
Because if they lose this, it could be a massive swing round. The good thing for them is they have plenty of ultimates to use.
That's exactly it. One ult point on Angel's behalf away from a full house. So that's how
Wait,
they
what
choose
was
to
that
use it.
old?
Koala investing the ult back towards his own spawn, I believe. So just faking out the possibility of a flank. But KC have already
But
cleared this.
they cleared
set up for the
everything
right side.
already. What?
Lockdown comes in.
The only thing they don't know about is
And
yellow,
they've
I
got a combo
guess.
util again
Yo.
to break it. That's brilliant.
Okay.
Fantastic. And now
Yo, I didn't
Navi
even
are
know you
left
can jump
stumped,
up there.
scratching their heads. How do we get into this site?
There's another.
Okay,
We're
that's a
gonna
nice
have to
get
use the
called.
thrash to do it. But at the same time,
Why
like, the
doesn't it jump
utility and
back?
response
No,
from
don't pick
KC is
this.
perfect. So it's going to come down to these gunfights.
They don't know
And now
about
Martin's on
backside
an
now.
aggressive line
Oh
with
my
the one-way smoke set
god.
up. You've got
These
Abbas here for
one-ways, dude.
contact. KC are
insane.
perfectly in place, and Navi feel like they're out of
Shower.
options. Shower saving Grace though.
That's massive. Brooks is
How are they
standing on
winning
the
these?
edge.
How?
Ronaldo gets to
Yo,
his
okay, man,
own.
what the
Martin out of nowhere. Still Navi one ahead, and Sugetsu nowhere near to bail Martin out. He could use his ultimate to escape, but wants to stick around.
30 seconds left.
Yo.
Wants to look for his next
Okay, nice
kill.
call by Angel to
Next
just
fight.
cut noise.
Doesn't
Oh, yo,
realise again
yo.
Rexic was close.
Yo,
The Viper
yo,
of
yo.
Navi
This is.
bailing out
Oof.
his team.
Navi
Sugetsu
are
again.
winning the unwinnable and
Angel
losing the
on the
unlosable,
other
I feel
side.
like.
Planted.
Oh, nice.
Molly at
Molly
his
free
feet.
fire.
Supported by
Wait, what's
Roxic
it?
now, and this one should not be
Oh,
winnable,
yo,
but
yo.
Sugetsu's already done a
Yo,
load of damage.
why?
Cross
And he
held
used
solo
another
by
ult.
Hero, drops
No,
back.
bro. No, bro.
Medical
This is
He's the
so
man you want to
bad.
depend upon here. With the Viper's pit down, that's the biggest obstacle that he needs to try
And he
get
knows. He knows that there's one
Elsewhere.
isolated.
Thinking about that
No.
next
Oh
player, it's
my.
Hero.
They just
He's
used
the
Killjoy
one
ult, Gecko
that can
ult,
shut it down for Navi
Viper
and
ult,
keep them within touching distance. Just 2
and what
rounds
else?
now separating the
and
teams.
the Omen ult.
we're
They used
speaking
4
about the
ults.
economy, right, and how expensive
That was a nice shot
this
though.
round would be for Navi if they
How does he
lost
get
it, but
that?
They put
Nice.
everything towards the middle of the field.
And
Only
these two.
one ultimate was kept into the next
Oh.
round. That was Angels, and that was
Okay.
only because it never came up.
It's crazy how in so many of these rounds it looks like KC are so well set up defensively,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it completely falls apart.
What was that?
Glad that there was an extra couple seconds there for Roxic.
Yeah, at the same time, it was expensive for KC. They're down to Sheriffs, and
Wait,
now
they're
that's
waiting
where we
for the
expect
mid
Navi to
aggression.
start to
Ah.
get close to their opponents now.
Interesting. Just
They're in
don't
that
burn the
eco-cycle
turn.
of defense. It makes it so much harder.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is just another
yeah,
opportunity to tighten up that scoreline a little bit more. You take a step
Shaw
back
looks so
and look
old.
at the
He looks
veto.
older than
In terms
Angel,
of these
honestly.
maps, you go on to Split, but I don't think last time out was a fair representation of what KC can do there. Last 3 series, they haven't banned it.
Wait,
It's been
Martin.
floated and then Ascent.
Wait, this guy has
Last
been
3
on
series,
point.
that's been
He's
left
getting
open
that.
for Navi.
He's getting this
Big
pick.
lucky
Oh,
why
never mind.
Martin forced out. The drone to follow up and make sure that there's no one else hiding.
That I'm making here,
Well, that's
though,
some
is
damage
that
at least. Koala playing Light Shield
Navi
because he's no
can
money.
go ahead and win this map.
Wait,
The
where did
series
that
all of a sudden looks
KJ?
very different, but it's rounds like this that we've mentioned time and time again.
Oh,
that
they're just
don't
5
feel
stacking
all
it.
too
This is
guaranteed
so
for them.
dangerous.
And look at the setup. KC have guessed correctly. 4 players on A, 30 seconds.
wow.
Navi, can you get past this eco?
Wait, they're already close here.
Show's done well,
Oh,
so
wow.
have
Wait,
Navi.
Martin?
It's starting to become a stampede of yellow
Oh,
and
wow.
black, and they'll send it home.
What?
One is all there is
They
between
just
these 2 teams.
Cleaned them up
Little
so
rounds like
easily.
that for me, which have your heart in your
That's
mouth,
the second
honestly.
round. KC
Yeah,
are
but I
stacked,
think
like
Navi did
4
a brilliant
stacked on
job.
A,
They kept it
and they're getting
simple,
picked off
used the
1 by
utility.
1.
That's one of the margins that you can really exploit.
What was
when you're
that guy?
playing
Oh, that's
against the
Sarag,
Mobile.
of course.
And it's a
Nice.
confidence builder as well, because this is now a 1-round game. KC are coming up on some
Nice.
huge round-winning ultimates.
Get hyped.
But nice to see the vibes are
And
being
then just
kept
Angel
up.
looking like he just
by
shat
the
his
duelists.
pants. No, why am I
Keep an
this?
eye on the lockdown and an Armageddon on either side.
It was
How they're
actually
used, I
true.
imagine Angel will be thinking about how he counters Elite's ultimate.
Okay.
Still
Oh.
head. I was going to say that's a big
That was
kill, but
such a
that's even
fast
bigger.
contact up.
Koala
Like,
finding
for
Sugetsu
Navi,
and
this is something
opening up.
unorthodox.
Sadak at the same time is trying to find
Wait,
the timing
Sadi,
here.
what are
He
you
just needs to
trying?
hold on to this space towards
Ow.
screens. You've got so many strong ults to combine and cut back through. Absolutely no reason to overplay your hand, and he's done a brilliant job at just managing this space, which KC now backfill.
Yeah. Also, KC know about the late luck coming.
They
from
used
Kitchen
the
from
tail.
Roxy. Oh no, deals with Elite. This is now an even bigger problem from the French side.
Nice
It's
show.
Xiao in the corner though. 2 kills picked up from him. Martin forced to just bail from the situation as
No,
Navi.
that's
have
what I'm
found a
telling
way
you
to tie this
guys.
back up.
You
It was a
just put
brilliant
Navi
round.
into
KC came in with
like
all of the tools
bodies,
and
and
looked
they
like
just
were happy to
tank
concede the
through
A
all of
space.
that.
But then when push comes to shove, there was just nothing there.
It's the fact that they had the ultimates to come back in, right? And just didn't opt to use any of them.
And they get
That's a
Martin.
big kill.
Yeah,
It
that's a
is, because
huge
KC are
kill.
now, they have no cash. It's another equal round. Sure,
That was a
we're
nice
starting
shot
to head
by
into the
Ruxic
end
there.
of this half, but this map, I don't think you should feel too
Timeout
desperate in
KC,
using
the
all
second
of your
timeout.
ultimates. I think this is a good timeout for Eng to try and refocus the
Oh,
French
man.
side.
Exactly.
I love looking
and
at
it's
Angel's
another test of
expressions.
depth in
He's
terms
like,
of
oh,
the
there's
strap work,
the
what they
shiny
wanna pull
lights,
out on the
dude. But
defender's side.
somehow
It
he's
feels
just
like,
still.
you know, at times
I
on
don't even
Icebox,
know.
it is a little bit reactive. You can't exactly invest and go aggro like you would be able to
Wait,
on other
is
maps.
Tarek
without
watching this?
Decent protocols in place, but to go back to the prior round
Oh,
as
he
well, and
is.
something we'd already been talking about.
What is he saying about the EMEA then?
Koala is starting to
Oh,
gel
he's
into
of
this
course.
Navi
Of
side.
course he's
and
on his
what
phone,
his,
dude.
you know,
Unk has
that component looks like,
14,000
not just in
people
terms of
to
the duelist,
entertain, and
but
he's
then
on his
also vocally
phone.
as well.
Like,
Because if you go back
how is
and
this
look at
guy getting
Navi's
more
recent
paid
history
more than
and
me,
the
dude?
former versions of this roster we've seen,
Opinion on
it's
Scottish
completely
accent?
different
Bro,
to a
I
CNED or an artist.
love
And
it.
I think
I know
we
that
even hearing
genuinely, I
Angel
think
talk
all
before
accents are
about
cool.
how he, you know,
I've
apologized
never
to
heard an
Koala,
accent
some of
and
the
been
mid
like,
Typical
rounds he was
Terry
giving,
answer.
helped
Personally.
win them really
I like
deep
all accent.
Vitality
Because I don't
series.
want to harm
So as
anybody
everything
or
is starting
offend
to mesh
anybody
together,
because
the
I'm
question
Terry.
is, can they take it over the line on Icebox?
And sure, you have a big audience, but you're still not
Something
Mr. Beast.
I would also
Martin is 23 and
from
15.
yesterday.
Bang for buck. Outlaws
It's
get
just
a
the
kill
amount of times we never saw
84% of
Navi
time per
actually
purchase,
go and
which
take
is the highest
control
of any
of a
rifle.
series. Well,
Outlaw
that's
isn't
what
a
it was.
rifle.
84% of the time getting a kill.
I mean, sure,
Roxic has
just
one right
chill.
here.
Oh,
Sugetsu needs to be careful though.
Yeah. Already missed one bullet.
okay, Navi should know that they
KC
don't play
eco,
from
but
yellow.
I feel like
Yellow
when
is
we
just
fly stats like that,
free.
you just know
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Nice
that
response.
there could be trouble. I mean, every single player on the defender's side is within striking distance of this.
Of course. At the same time,
Oh,
there you
wait.
go.
that's the
Who is this
sheriff
guy?
shot Sugetsu.
How does he get
But
that kill?
You've also got to be careful of Martin's hero rifle. This eco round could
Hold
really
on.
go out of control if Navi can't get a grasp on it.
This is also where KC want to play up close.
Ew!
And personal, rifle of Martin
Yes!
on.
Angel, my god!
That would have given
I'm
KC a
happy for him.
huge opportunity. But
Oh,
Navi are the
wow.
ones that strip it back instead. None
Give
of
the
those
kills
ults
to
with
Angel,
any view to be
please.
used,
Oh,
not the same way
shit.
that Navi had thrown them at some of their ecos. KC building towards something bigger in the next, but while all this is happening, I
Did
mean,
they
look,
see
you've got
him?
two
I
more
think
to
they
build
did.
towards here on Angel and Hero.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, they
Interesting
definitely
to see if
saw
they're the
him.
ones given the kill here.
I mean, that's even if they get the chance.
That
right?
was
They could easily
interesting.
just
Yeah,
go
he's
for
just
duel
saving, okay.
instead. No,
Yo,
calls it quits,
where did
would
Angel
rather
come
feed
from
that
again?
rifle into the next round
He's
as
just coming and going
cash
like
is
a
pretty
ghost.
tight here.
Ghost of
He'll
Q.
go to 11, Navi.
Nice
To
angles.
get towards the crunch time in this map.
Yeah. I like the outlaw buy, but you
Yeah.
know, it's always going to be one of those rounds where something crazy could happen.
Also,
it
they
was a
could,
decent start from KC, but even with
um,
players in place,
Wait, who is
quite
that?
doing enough. Has he got Sadok fan in the audience? Very nice. Obrigado.
I was like, who is that at
Anyway,
first?
Navi now with a lead.
Yes, Angel.
Can KC
My boy.
rely on their captain yet again to bail them out
Oh,
of a bad situation?
yes, Angel.
Something has to change.
Yo, how?
This
How
defense
is he
now
missing
losing 4
every
rounds
shot?
in a row. just doesn't look like there's any silver linings.
Martin is top fragging and still whiffing and doing the most. Like, if Martin wasn't doing just stupid mistakes, he would be top fragging so easily. Oh wow. This is fast. This is really quick. Oh wow. I love this.
Still worried about Kitchen and a player potentially being deposited there. That was
Wait, they don't know
He's
about
gone.
that guy.
Sugetsu yet to make his move back sight. This is huge and the spike is still not down.
Chance to deny that. Molly doing well. I mean, at the same time, trying to stall out using the thrash, but the Viper's pit is bought
he
a little
got
space
him.
in which to work with. Even the lockdown will buy more.
Angel,
trying
the
to
big
reposition
brain.
towards Snowman, decides against it.
I think from this position, you can still sit outside the ult and spam
What is
if
that
you're
ult?
KC. It doesn't really commit too much space. Yeah, Angel's still sitting pretty here. It's just a
They're on!
Martin's
No! What is that, bro?
Oh, that's such
my-
a frustrating way to lose
No,
the round.
man.
Martin very
How?
nearly cleans
Dude.
the slate entirely.
They got the wrong
24
guy.
kills now for him.
How did Angel not
And we will
anticipate
be
the
going
stick?
to the very limits of regulation as it's a Red Bull clutch to give KC 11.
Yeah, it is. And also, it's a Navi timeout to try and push themselves
Yo,
over the
that
line.
shot.
I can understand why you would pull off the angle after the spam, right?
What
you
you
think
banned? What banned?
of
What?
communication maybe. But at the same time, the point I was making is
Navi
like you pull
timeout,
off the
okay.
angle because you get a pick,
Yo.
not realising it's not the diffuser.
This is
Feel as
more
if Navi
chaotic than any
is
game you
not paying
can watch in
attention
the
to
whole
smaller
world.
details.
Maybe like PRX gameplay is a little bit more chaotic, but this is just peak.
Map point on your opponent's pick.
Maybe
It's an
not, maybe not,
elimination
maybe not,
series.
maybe not. That one was not good.
Maybe I should be
Like,
watching
that was a
Terry
timeout, that was
because
a
of his
timeout.
reactions
Which I think it's
for
important to
Angel.
remind again that KC have historically struggled
Angel!
with
I cannot
ensure the
even
DNA
shout
of this
that
team
weirdly.
is not the same as what we've seen in years
I
gone
wish-
by.
Okay.
All of those
I wish
changes
I
made
knew how to
with
do
looking
accents.
towards international events at the end of the
Oh, he's
year
still talking about accent things. Who gives a shit?
is required in this first stage.
Yo, but I feel like Angel is
to
like towards the
reach
top with kills.
your target at the end of the
My
gauntlet.
god, Angel.
This round, I mean, look, we saw big ults invested, and
It's
they
like
do
funny,
just
like
about get the
sometimes he
return.
goes to the arena and doesn't do anything.
That null command,
And
the
now
only
he's
one in
16
play.
in 14.
Still Navi not too far off
Oh,
some
man.
of their own.
Couple of pings from KC.
How
towards
does
the
Martin
A
have
side,
24
maybe a little bit
kills?
more aggressive from the defense.
Oh.
Martin's the only one really backing that up.
Martin has been unrelenting.
That's so
in his
much
aggression,
pressure
and I
on
think
Ado.
at
This
times
pressure
Navi
from
have
Martin
struggled
is
to
beautiful.
contain it. You can
They don't
see
know about
two
Bell, they have
players
to
sat
re-clear
underneath Bell
everything on
outside
A
of
if they
right
want to
now,
go A.
as the rest of the pack is just cleaning up on B long and keeping the attention of KC,
Oops.
holding it. That drone is forced to re-clear it through Aves.
Now they should go...
Get all the information.
Did you not hear
So
that? You should
be
go B
easy
now.
to start to lean heavier on the
They
A
just
side.
cleared B,
Will
you should
Navi
go
begin to make
B.
inroads?
Oh man, Angel is trying to double
To
brain
that
them.
extent, KC are not fully sold on this situation.
Wait, this
Knife
guy
goes
might
into
be
mid,
the
that's a little bit of
goat,
extra info, and now
actually.
Sadak seems to
these
have the
angles
right
that he's
idea
holding.
about it. Third player
Oh,
over on
okay,
A,
never mind.
a fourth shortly
What a
arriving as the
reposition.
rest of Navi will be.
Golden
They've got
player.
utility
Oh,
to open this up,
shut
but that's very
down.
quickly removed with the ult.
Forfeiting the side to play from
Yikes.
the outside. It's Elite that actually gets
How
the
does-
kill, not
how do
Martin,
they
as he
find
tries
kills?
To play aggressive. That's
Wait,
no
just chill, you
command,
have
is denying
28
all the
seconds, just
utility
chill.
that Navi would
How do you
want
get
from the
another
right post,
one?
Denying the players that they would
Oh
want.
my god.
Two to the good now. But Navi still trying to play slow, and as they do, they just get completely cut down. Spike goes cold, does the
Oh.
round. Hero has to clutch up here to even be within a chance, and with 10 seconds left, you would think it's going to be KC to reach 12 first.
And that's one of those rounds which does still feel repeatable for KC. Perhaps not the ultimate, but at the
No,
very
of
least
course
the
not the
read. It's a
ultimate.
number of times now where
Yeah,
we've
but, like,
seen them
I
get
don't know
into
when you
position,
hear the
but
drone on
fail
B
to
why you
execute
don't
from
go
that
B.
game plan.
And
So
there's
it
just
does feel
Angel doing
very
Angel things
gratifying from their
again.
perspective to win the duels. Hero keeps it close, but still too far out of his wheelhouse.
Relax, guys. Everyone relax, please, okay?
Really?
And I think that's the big thing, talking about emotions, relaxing here. That's what Sue was asking Sadak.
Oh, he's playing like Angel.
How
What the hell?
easy is it to control the emotions of your team?
How do they have so much money, dude? KC?
Won the mid-round last time
I mean, NAVI, whatever.
They do it again here. In terms of info,
Huh, what's the
first
plan
20
here?
seconds already lost to the clock.
This is
Like
so
that molly
risky.
lineup
He's
to try and get
alone
rid of
in
the
mid
turret.
and he's just...
It's gone. That mid control now lost for Casey. A big
And you just
question mark.
waste your
Sadak
molly there?
has the
You
cross at least to
cannot.
make sure no one
This is not
walks
ranked,
through.
dude.
Just doesn't know about kitchen though.
NAVI are yet to really involve themselves here. They're still with this two-player pairing, both of the lurks.
Just go in.
no, one
There's
more.
no one in.
Ruxic and Hero
Oh,
starting to show themselves.
wait, yeah,
in
this is
Sui's
nice.
direction. He's
This is
backed
like
all the way
actually
up.
really
Still playing
nice.
from yellow, but two
They still
players
don't know
dragged
about
over,
info.
and now it is open for the taking.
This was
Still
really nice.
Not fully
Oh,
committed to this. They are spread thin, and you've got 30
Wait, what's
seconds or so
happening?
left to play with.
yo, what the hell?
From Casey is almost here, right? Apart from two towards that B side. It's Topsy,
What the
Turvey.
fuck is this?
No, they're going to use the Armageddon to clear that back space if you're Navi.
But there's such a small lane to actually play into, so that fragment's already done a lot. And KC are ready for retake.
Oy.
So ready, the utility straight back in, but that
Oh wow,
lockdown.
that
by a
lockdown
little
saved
bit of
them.
delay for the attack.
That lockdown saved them so
Absolute
much.
chaos as utility goes straight in. So quickly keeping tabs, Navi have little left for themselves.
Oh, wow,
Angel
this
Salvos
spot-
is about as good as it
Wait.
gets. There's still flashes and
Wait, this
stuns
spot
on
though.
KC's side to come back through.
Shao finding himself another
Oh.
pocket in which to walk. And Navi
Oh,
supporting him in
beautiful
his
by
endeavours.
Shao.
Two players left, make that
Oh.
just the one. It's up to the captain, the leader
Save.
of KC, or it will be overtime.
Save on the last
And I
round,
think
yeah,
there's
good.
a nice little ribbon
Yo,
thrown
that was-
this by
that was a
Navi.
nice
We are
round.
heading all the way.
Overbrained again by Angel,
I mean,
but...
KC had players in position. It was a tug of war, and that rope was splitting at the seams. I think, you know, it's the perfect demonstration of how much the synergy between the players on both sides has evolved as we've moved from that very first opening fixture of kickoff up until now,
really
the
nice,
elimination
really
game in
nice.
stage one. Util
They
sent
should
both
just
ways,
see
Navi
from
not
the
left with
VODs that they are
all too much, but
overcalling
Shao's positioning
sometimes. Sometimes you
is what
just
wins
keep
it
it
for
easy
them.
and go in. But it's
That's not
fine.
the first time he's
17,
done that.
15
Now,
for
Freedom
Angel, though, he's
found himself a
positive.
little pocket,
Rook
the
6
smokes
is
to support
14 and
that,
21.
KC, just
For
swing it
Viper,
dry.
Rook
They'd
6
already
playing
used
very
a
aggro.
little bit of utility trying to come in early. The lockdown denied that.
So on
What
to
is
the
that
attack,
flash?
KC go. An 8-4 half from them
Sadak
to
using
kick
his
things off,
util
but
so quickly.
Navi respond in kind. A little bit of pressure put on early towards this right-hand side. Spike posturing in the direction.
3 mid.
It's classic
Okay.
calming court. You're expecting them to go quiet and then re-hit in the latter stages of the round. But the question being, how much information can Navi collect in the meantime?
Poison's off.
This is so quiet. Oh,
Oh my god, the
ooh.
swing out from Ruxic.
Okay.
Shred of
He
a bit
wide
is,
swings
at the same
so
time, though, Navi
many
have cleared
times. He
through
just
mid.
loves to wide
They've
swing.
deposed the turret just to make sure no one else comes later. And they can focus completely on this side.
Oh,
Blind
wow.
going in, but immediate suppression there to just stop this retake in its tracks. Tap of the plant from Sadak, waiting
Oh,
for the
wow.
reply. And here it comes.
Oh, what the fuck?
Martin, KC, one player to the good, still Spike
Ew.
knockdown, but don't necessarily need it. Winning out the deathmatch here, and the null command denies Hero his utility,
Oh.
so he has to depend upon his rifle, in which he has been
Oh.
hitting his shots and continues
Wait, we
to
saw him do
so.
that before.
A similar position in which from before, KC, Sadak, he's low.
Hero's heard the drop in as well, and Sadak, as you say, on death's door, needs Sugetsu to trade off of him.
Has one flash in which he could set his Viper up, but instead
Oh,
finds a
again!
diamond. No way. One versus one. Flash is what puts KC ahead in
Oh my
overtime.
God, dude. There's no way he would have done the
Navi
zipline
needs to
thing
defend.
again to them.
That's overtime.
That's...
The
But it
Sadak
was so
self-flash
close.
as the skipper has sent them onto another map point.
The skipper.
I mean, in terms of the opening engagement,
Yo,
it was good.
this kill was bullshit by
KC doing
KC.
enough
I
to
mean,
dissuade that quick flood.
Okay, Sadak, what the hell?
Sadak really turning it on when needed, even getting the no command there to just...
It's okay, I carry you in overtime, guys. Papa's online.
He was saying earlier that he had the youngsters now to just put him in the backpack, but he's the one in these big moments, these killer moments, that is showing up and showing out for KC as they go into a timeout and
okay, the last attack round for
Navi.
Navi. This is gonna be difficult.
That's it, right? This is the last time that KC,
These
the
two
last
look
time out that
French,
KC will
though.
have.
Maybe it's a French org
From
after
here
all.
on forward, they just have to hope that they get the reads right, the plays right. Want to finish it early. Navi will still have one timeout in overtime. That's the other thing to consider. That would be the other time that Eng and Zeiss get to come back into this one. With that being said,
Come on now, guys.
we're ready
No
to
play
send this
already,
one
no.
back in for another round.
Looking
Since
at
when does
Navi's
KC have
attack
this
here as well,
Aves
it
guy?
did look
I've not
really
heard
strong
about that
towards
one.
the end, but my
Wait,
concerns
let's
still
check
lie
out
with how
Navi.
some of them felt a little bit readable, that you weren't
wait,
reliant
where
on
is it?
moments from
This-
players like Hero, who now sits at the top of the sheet
This,
for Navi. The scorecard, 21 kills to his name.
wait, all maps.
It might even just be a pace change
33%
here. I'm seeing
of
4
range, huh?
players at the B barrier, and with that smoke going in early, they look to scale up behind it.
Ah!
So gets doubting himself from pushing forward into the smoke like
Just
last
shot
time.
two
That
people,
was
that's-
easily
that's
countered
rude,
by
dude.
Angel.
That's why I like playing the region shields in OT, because you just get spammed so easily. People play careful.
A completely rehearsed
Fully.
execution. The mosh pit landing backside, but
Yeah, it's
Sugetsu
GG.
following it up
Oh
from
wait,
close.
it's not?
Koala with a quick trade, but Sadak's still alive. Looking to carry the rest of his team
No.
through OT, but it's Aves that finds the
Oh,
next
what the
kill.
fudge.
And one by one, Navi drop. The spike is on the other side of the screen.
Koala is on top?
Koala up top, but Aves knows
No,
it and
man.
nails the shot. Such a big kill.
And how do you even get this spike back? It's really
Beautiful.
difficult, but that timing's insane.
Individual play from
No.
Roxic, more coming up. A lead there, and now Hero once more.
Oh no. Oh no,
Can he
no,
find
no,
a way
no.
to do it yet again?
Yeah! Okay, NT, NT.
It's a lead to
Holy
best him.
crap.
14 to 12.
Jesus Christ,
They
bro.
have Icebox.
They do have Icebox. It's their own pick as well. So the next one
They
off
almost
split,
choked
we
that
look
game,
towards
but
Navi
Yeah, they did.
is perhaps a little bit more labelled
Anyway,
than it
I'm
needed
gonna
to
have
be.
to
We'll
reply
see
to
if the
some
next map
messages.
is the same after this break.
I'm cooking them, I'm cooking them, bro. I'm cooking them.
I'm
But
cooking them, I'm
I rate
cooking
this
them.
guy like my bro.
what is this guy on Gecko doing? Why he picking? Guys, chill out. Don't get overexcited, please, guys. Don't scream and shit, okay? Let's be focused.
No.
Steve,
Listen to Papa.
listen to Pop. Okay.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I don't know where you've been sold, but I'd be insane not to play my role. Yeah, I know I can break a fall. Mistakes are low. Just know that I got a hand that I can lend you, and it don't matter where
Good. I think I'm gonna get something to eat. And I'm gonna be back with something to eat. Map 2 is getting Navi, and then Navi 1, and then I'm gonna be back.
There he goes.
That's. Bro, Koala Loop thinks he's me. He's not, bro.
What an exciting way to kick off the lower bracket here at playoffs in VCT EMEA. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Mini and Hypok once again. This matchup, a very interesting one. Head-to-head on Omen, on Icebox. You don't see it very often, but do you guys agree with Martin there? You know, Koala didn't do his best Martin cosplay.
I mean, I think Martin is the best Omen Icebox player we have in EMEA, so I would agree with him, but Koala wasn't bad, but I think Martin was just different gravy.
Yeah, I don't think this was heavily one-sided, but I think I mean, you look at the first half, well, even just kicking off with the pistol round, how active Martin was, particularly towards mid, which seems to be something that KC have built a game plan around on Icebox. And even in the rounds where, you know, they weren't there, it was Sugetsu to kind of pick up that slack. So, yeah, for me, Martin takes the head.
Yeah, I know it was a long time ago, but those early rounds, the momentum that Martin gave them with the pistol round, and then the bonus round too, it was just those nice TP plays in, and you know, it's not easy to TP in an Omen and pretend to be a duelist, so fair play to Martin.
Yeah, and the 35 clutches also helped, I think. He was always diffusing, always the last one there on that clutch. The stats are doing...
Well, maybe it's one more one-sided than that.
I think it's doing Koala a little bit dirty, because he did win some huge rounds to take them to OT in the end.
Yeah, but Martin had 270 ACS, so I'm going to have to...
Yeah, it was certainly, it felt a little more flashy from Martin, which is, I guess, no surprise.
Yeah, I think Koala to me is the op agent player, and when their defense was so lackluster, it's going to be hard to get that economy rolling to do what Koala does best, which is cool.
Yeah, I asked you guys this while we were watching the game, but this is the best offer in EMEA.
Oh, yeah, I don't actually think there's much of a discussion with it. We were saying as well, there's not many other crutches right now, but Koala consistently picking it up and looking pretty deadly.
Yeah, when you said it, I was a bit surprised, but then thinking through it logically, I agree. I think he's the best.
Are they relying on it a little bit too much, do you think? Because when he doesn't have the op, it does look a little bit more shaky.
I don't know how you don't rely, like if they're good with it.
But you know what I mean? But you want to have more than one thing that you can rely on. What are the other things?
I agree, yeah, absolutely. But if they're not so good at the other thing, then they just have to lean into it. It's unfortunately
I think bigger picture-wise, we're probably unearthing some other issues within the NAVI camp. But yeah, I mean, if they've got the opportunity to, I think they should be tapping into it whenever they can.
Well, I tell you what, though, Sui is going to be very happy about taking on map 1. You know, last time they played against each other, Sui, little bit emotional, you know, some gestures on stage, which I am all for. But he also has some very, very big rounds. You guys mentioned the early couple of rounds we saw from KC right out the gate. He was in the middle of all of that.
Yeah, he was. And I think as well, whenever you see Sugetsu even being vocal about anything, you know that it's kind of, there's a little fuel to the fire, right? So it's good to see him come online here at map 1, particularly with this matchup. Again, it's a player that across stage 1, I think we've been asking more of, or wanting to see more of, because he's one of those players that he can stand on his own 2 feet. And it's, you know, we always see him in these individual scenarios delivering. We haven't seen much of that.
Yeah, I think on the attack side, I think it's a very good VOD for any Viper lurker to watch. He had the experience to know when to go for those lurks and when not to, and when to group up. He didn't have, like, you know, a Martin level performance, but the maturity was there. His decision making was good.
Team game, you know, team game. But let's talk about the next map. Because if NAVI do not win on Split, their season will be over. They will be missing out on the second Masters of the year. And after the group stage they've had, you know, taking down Vitality along the way, this will be a bit of a shock, right, Hypok, for them to go out this early?
I wouldn't say shock.
First team to be eliminated.
But, well, cool. That's a scheduling issue. But, yeah, I don't see it as. It wouldn't be a big shock, to be honest. I think honestly, coming in today, it would have been a bigger shock to see NAVI come out and comfortably, you know, clear KC in the opening elimination game. I think to come back to the veto, this is where it kind of feels like we might actually see map 3. I mean, we talk about the dreaded week 5 KC loss to Liquid, but again, how much stock do we really take from the loss to Liquid?
But depends who you ask.
Yeah, well, yeah, but reps-wise, I mean, NAVI coming in for me, tongue-in-cheek here, but I'm saying favourites from map 2, to be honest with you.
I agree. I think that maybe I should have hit it more before the game, that I think it is a clear favorite KC Icebox, and then
Yeah.
you know, Navi did a good job to get it that close, and I think this one's a clear favorite for Navi. You know, 13-0ing a team isn't the easiest thing to do in the world.
No, regardless of who, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen them on Split, though, you know, since that 13-0. But I guess I asked you this question about Icebox at KC, so I'm just going to throw it back. Not like that. Throw it back in terms of the question. What makes Navi so strong on Split?
Their awkward defense is a problem for teams that don't have a good read on it. They have the double smokes and the Vice, and it's not a very common composition on that. So that it's a very defense-sided comp if you don't know how to play around it. I think Fnatic did a great job of understanding the weaknesses of the comp, whereas the other teams didn't. So it's down to KC, I think, whether they've done that homework coming in, expecting it.
Yeah, I think this one leans heavily in the prep region for KC. Again, I think coming into playoffs, it's that's something we top of show today. We said is almost a benefit for KC to come in, have the ability to obviously watch an extra game, but also really look at likely scenarios, who we're going to be playing game one coming out. I think this is probably the matchup you would feel KC are going to be anticipating, so they should come in here. If it's available in the veto and we're going to see it, then actually let's scrap the Liquid performance, erase that from our memories, and actually come in today with something that feels like you can have a set game plan to approach.
Yeah, and I just want to gas up Hero a little bit, because the one, I guess, shining star of Navi so far.
The diamond in the rough.
Yeah, the one player that's just been consistent in every situation, no matter what, as of late, has been Hero. And in that 13-0, he got 22 kills in 13 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the reason they managed a 13-0 GX.
Yes, I was talking about Sagetsu's lurks, but Hero, to me, like, even when I coached him, he has a very good understanding of the timings and like when to do it. And I think Split is a perfect map, especially on that attack.
Why'd you kick him, man?
I wasn't in the team. I left.
No, you were there. After champs. You were there.
Bro, you keep throwing me under the bus for these changes. I left the team and they made their changes.
Would you have kept Hero if you stayed on Fnatic?
Honestly,
yeah.
I don't think so. No.
Oh, why not?
Wow, why not? He's so good.
His lurking is very good. I said his lurking is very good. I think there's other aspects in his game that would need to be well rounded out. I think in the context of Navi, he's clearly their best player right now. I think that he's phenomenal for this team. My standards for the game are to go to internationals and win. So it's a little bit.
You'd make a great politician. That's all I'll say.
I don't think so. I think he'd be making rubbish.
But an answer like that.
I didn't even grill him. I barely grilled him.
I could have just said I would have kept him. That would have been the politician.
Would have been the safe bet, right?
Yeah. That would be more politician-esque, just a lie. You know, I feel like, you know, that would have been better. Who I do want to see come online a little bit, because as you said, Hero being their best player right now, is Xiao. When have we ever seen a Navi where Xiao is not the best player? This has to be the first year.
Stage
right?
one.
But that's what I mean. That's how weird is that sentence?
Yeah, it is. But again, I think it comes back to a similar point we were making earlier as well, where there seems to be a little lack of direction or unified direction, because it feels like some rounds you watch and Angel and Xiao are playing for Navi 2 years ago. And then you've got 3 other people in the lobby that are kind of like, okay, well, we want to do... I was saying during that, actually, looking back at stage 1, thank God Navi have Koala, because it would literally be like a funeral in comms some rounds. And, you know, we're just not seeing what feels like a cohesive team working towards the same objective, be it game plan, be it round by round. It just feels a little weird, and I think actually Xiao falls victim to that, to be honest.
It's also I know we kind of bang on about it, but the role change for Xiao has never looked as
convincing,
good. And it's like, at this point, I'm asking myself, is this to do with the fact he's not playing, quote, the Sova role?
Yeah.
Or is it just, you know, time has passed a little bit and Xiao isn't the player that we once thought?
Well, let's take a look at Agent Select and see what Xiao's going to go with here. I mean, no changes on the side of Navi. Why would they? You know, they look so good.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Navi changing here would be a very big surprise. On the KC side, changing up to the double duelist.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Martin and Avaz. Avaz has played Raze on a couple of maps for KC, or at least the Ascent, I believe.
He has,
so I quite like this change from KC.
Well, yeah, I do like this as well. And actually, when you talk about the switch up as well to kind of overcome Hero on the Vice, actually you have 2 great gap closers, and the double duelist, we already know, we've talked about it on Split, how much success you can get.
Yeah, and there's also the comp, I believe, that Fnatic played against Navi. So if they've taken some of Fnatic's game plan there, it should be a pretty good match for them.
Typical Mini, always wants to make it about Fnatic. Let's send it back to your casters and see if Na'Vi can take us to a map 3.
It's a map 3 that we've been waiting for so many times, floated into veto. All focus on Split right now. That perfect
Is the
map
YouTube
from them
algorithm
before.
just
First
bad, or
13-0
why do I
of the
have
EMEA
9
partnership
viewers
era.
when I'm not
3-year
even
wait
here?
since 2022.
Also,
Finally
I got some
ticked
pieces.
off on. Flawless defensive half though. They start on the attack here,
who would
something
watch
which
me?
KC can't go back and look at and
What
you know, pick too
happened?
much away from.
Yeah, I think like the desk got it spot on in terms of
They still didn't
this
start
is
the
a
second
clear
map,
Navi
come on.
favourite moving in towards
Like,
this.
I have
Obviously you can't
places to
take
be
much
at
away
in one
from the
half
Team
hour.
Liquid game, so I'm excited to see what improvements KC have made since that rescheduled match and what they have to like bring forward here, right?
Absolutely. The question is, what does that prep look like? This new version of KC. Very low win rate, sorry,
Oh,
for
okay.
Na'Vi on their own map picks, but they're going to need one of them here.
Okay.
Start off, it's 5 players outside of A as Sadak, the sole guardian of this site.
Okay, KC defending, Navi attacking, so it's a
Expecting much from that. KC holding on towards mid, and with all that utility, Sadak is trying to stick around here. Something in which to work with, but one doesn't get much in terms of information.
What's that plan
Have
spot?
at least got a very open plan.
Oh wow, Sadak is low as...
Sort of off towards the screen side, and so that's where they're going to go. Na'Vi funneling players towards the defensive half. They've traded places because it's round that's re-cleared.
As Hero and the pocket, Xiao. He found one, but that's all it's going to be.
What are you doing,
As KC
man?
now start to get
Where are
things
you?
underway. On towards the A side,
Oh wait,
you
wanna
look. You've got
spawn,
to
what?
think about Elite deposited towards Heaven to just catch out a late lock, but
Oh
Navi
wow,
are
beautiful.
stopping KC, and there's two
Oh wow.
mags. And we'll find that pistol round.
Exceptional shots.
Another attacking pistol round won by Na'Vi. Now
Navi
looking
have like
back,
the highest
if my
pistol
math
win
serves me
rate
correctly, that's 4
in the EMEA.
out of 4 for the last attacking pistol rounds that they've played. And on this map, great way to start it because, as we mentioned previously, they only needed to win that last time. It was a mid push they went for, 5 players strong. Similar thing here, but it's A. And I love the plant spot. I love the awareness to be looking for Elite in Heaven there too.
Yeah. And I think for me, Navi bring out that iconic buy. Once again, 3 rifles there in which to work with. Remember, KC can find a way to try and find a couple of those rifles and pick them up and work with it. There's 4 players sitting, 5 players in elbow.
Wait, what is this?
Like badges.
What is this?
Na'Vi pest control looking elsewhere. Oh, or are they?
Don't think so, mate. I think this is going to be B.
Where are the rats at?
And you could only hope. You could only hope. There is a world where they walk into that, but still, Na'Vi, on a lot of these rounds, and as we said before, building towards that bonus, it's about keeping things clean. They have struggled massively from these positions so far. It has been a real dampener
You know, it's the
on what
thought that
otherwise
counts in these
we're talking
situations.
about a team which
It
can
looks
have
funny,
an
but
upswing in
if they
form.
would go
You know,
A,
it was the 13-0 on this map against GX,
it would
which
be
made you
really
think,
bad for them.
okay, Na'Vi are really back from decider to decider.
Yeah.
Against Apex, that series, you go into the Heretics game though, and it's a quick reset. Back to Vitality, BBL, reset again.
I feel as if though, for me, when I think about Navi, we're always waiting for what was promised, right? A team that should be reaching
promised?
international events have...
How should they
veterans that have
reach
done it
international
many
events?
times before,
They're
but
like the good.
I always feel
The
disappointed,
team
right?
is
In
fun
terms
to
of
watch.
what
And at
the
the
heights
end,
that they actually
like
reach.
there's not much more to it.
It's always one step too far for them.
And they're gonna die to Spike. Look at those
elimination
strats.
game important.
Oh, and they
to
have
show that
Angel
they
and
can
Koala
endure
hunting. That's
trials
nice.
and
Oi, oi, oi.
tribulations as KC have moved that
Angel.
train of players into the corner. Against the Pistols, they are going to win a couple of fights back. But you look at Navi's
Well,
current
I
line,
guess it's
those
fine
purchases
because both
which
of
they
them
were
got an
able to
orb
keep.
and they didn't have
As
to.
all of KC go down,
They just
it's
have to buy
3
shields.
rifles
So.
retained into the
Not that
bonus.
bad.
And this is where we look at Navi, right? Because this is a few
It's
times
actually
now
better
on the
they
bonus
die
round where they've come
Navi,
in with a
because they get,
fantastic buy, but they've never been able to
orb.
back up the promise of that, right? Something similar to what we're talking about with the actual org in the team. They need to be able to try and pose real problems, do real damage. They weren't able to do it yesterday, not necessarily in the first map. Can they do it here on map number 2?
Their bonus rounds are so strong. They're just,
their selection.
if somebody watches those reviews,
On the attack.
they just buy one outlaw and destroy a whole of
make the
Navi.
first move of this rifle round. Navi anticipating it.
Oh.
Crossfire placed. Martin in play. TP available, but obstacle
wow.
against it. It's Elite at his back, which fires 2 shots off, finds 2 kills. Navi
Go.
down to their last couple players.
Yeah, and the sound cue from the announcer showing that the spike is down in shops. The last 2 on Navi,
Come on,
Angel and
Angel.
Ruxic.
It was a nice fight from
Ruxic in towards the
frickin'
backlines. Angel has to try
KC
and
there.
come from sewers and has utility to clear players in the spots that they're in.
Without help in this position, though, the in-game leader.
He's reading
Slow
that.
trickle of util out from the belt, but that is a tether. Aves has been spotted on the other side of the wall, but what do you do with
Oh.
this? It's nothing, it's just a distraction.
Yeah, he's baiting for Ruxic to come in to spot, although Sadak has identified what they were
unlucky.
looking for, and now
Very
Angel
weak.
left all on his own.
This is a round which has very quickly crumbled. Like sand, it falls through the hands of Navi.
Just make it look like you
Nice
saved.
vigil from
No.
KC. They read the situation so well.
I would
Just
have
felt like
waited
they
for
had their
there for
finger
like
on the pulse in terms of what
20
to
more
expect from
seconds
Navi in
and just
that
let them
round.
push.
And so that's how they
Maybe
get on
you
the
get
board.
one. When you have
Love to
4
know,
holding,
if
there's
you
no
get
chance
statistic
you get one
the
well
amount
being
of
one shot.
rounds that,
It was a
we
nice
see
push by
Navi
KC
come
though.
in with a full buy and end up losing out.
Okay, bro.
As for this though, they move in towards the rifle round in the next. KC with a brilliant read.
Okay,
Looks
now
as if they're read into this one
what's
too.
Angel's
3
plan
players on
just
the
a,
A side for
just
the
an
defense.
easy A
Navi
push,
have all 5
but they're
ready
fighting
to hit
for it.
First of those players is Martin
Oh,
again.
wow.
But he goes down at the hands of
Wait.
Koala. That neat. It's going to drop in for damage, but nothing more. Satchel
Yeah,
away.
yay!
Sustain on the Navi side. And it looks like they just want to dive straight in to this push as well. Aves to receive them. The wall is a little too tight for him to play around.
Did they
KC
not
have done
hear
brilliantly to
Aves
stall out
drop
Navi.
down?
I mean, they're trying to look towards heaven now, but I mean, the defense happy
It
to
was a
give
nice
this up.
stall though. Oi, oi, oi.
Spam back through, but as soon as this wall drops, the timing is everything. Nearly caught with a prowler there.
Oh,
Sadak,
wow.
and he falls
Beautiful
flat.
3 peaks.
Elite by his side.
KC,
to
you,
get to
you just have to jump
trying
spot
to
or something and
creep
just
up
go away
behind
or something. Like,
his
try
former
something
team,
else,
but
dude.
it's the wall there, which I'm not quite sure if it got trapped or not. I didn't quite catch that.
No,
They
still
didn't.
up.
Yeah, he's not even gone for it.
I mean, has the TP if
He
he
hears
really
the
wanted
rotates
to go
though.
by it, but is worried about players maybe coming through vents and
It's a
repositions
fake.
towards
It's
shops.
all a fake.
And so Hero's job here is to just clear out
Hero
all that space and
knows.
make sure there isn't an
Oh
oncoming
my
flank,
god.
that the rest of
Yo,
Navi can
this
group
is
up with some
big
comfort.
brain. They
Take
knew
the excite.
somebody was mid.
I mean,
So,
Navi don't really have money to
Hero
go
just
hunting
stumped
either for these
through
last 2
spawn.
remaining rifles on
This was
KC, and I think the
giant
defense
brain.
will be happy
Holy
to try and save
shit.
them out and have something to work with in the next round.
Oh my god. If I'm
I mean,
Angel,
on top
I'm
of that,
so
you
happy
get
with
Koala's
myself
showstopper
right
up
now.
as well.
It's
Maybe just looking
insane.
for a couple of exits here from Sui in the attacker spawn.
So round number 4 ends with a gentleman's agreement that Navi will remain in front. Sui just
wow.
hunting for some exits, but it's Hero who has done his job and stood the test. Back on this Vice, which,
Wow.
you know, at times
was
we say
beautiful calling
it's
by
a
Angel.
sentinel, but plays much like an initiator in the way that you have to be very acute with your utility usage. That Arc Rose is fantastic for mid-rounding. And, you know, you look back at Hero's history on former
Oh, Tarek
teams.
is
I remember
AFK.
all the way back in
That's
the
why
wild days,
people
right?
came here.
Where they were running an Ascent comp when he was on the Phoenix. Look, let me cook. On the duel list with flashes because, you know, KO was not something that he felt comfortable with in his agent pool, right?
Yes.
In terms of how you look to try and be very specific with where that utility is invested. But I have to say, I'm very impressed as we get to the point. With how he's been playing and gravitating towards, the same role, but a very different agent.
That was really nice that the
Sadek is getting out
the
right
replay
now.
ops were able to highlight the smokes as they
Getting
were
3
forming
rounds this
was
early
what gave
into attack on Split is
the
insane.
attack the notification.
It's really nice, like...
Of where players are. Remember that showstopper available for Koala, and
Usually you're
KC
happy with the
have a
9-3
bye here.
result.
They lose this, it could
Oh,
be
it's a
all
mid fight?
upset.
No. Yeah, it is a little bit.
Have made their inroads in mid once again.
You're just playing one and done. It's so
Such a
annoying to
strong
play
position
against
for
such a
Martin,
team.
because he can immediately send himself over towards the A site.
Yeah.
Things going out on the A side from the Navi at the attack.
That's the question, you know, does he commit to this TP in the final few seconds of the timer? And the answer is no.
No.
KC remain with their double-layered setup.
And now he
middle,
doesn't know
and
what to
that's
do.
where A
Yep,
now
fall
comes
back.
under threat. Aves on the off angle.
Oh, good
Discipline, looks
decision.
well, but it is only one, and it's Hero the Sentinel that's gone. Chance to maybe try and go for a flank here as Koala gains space in towards screens.
That first player gone, Navi have the man advantage, but they don't have the space. I mean, you do still have Angel coming late ramp with this open plant, but there's no tower player.
KC are quick onto the site to try and take the fight. Shao denies that.
Oh, what the hell?
It's going
How?
but
How did you not kill?
Still Navi come out on top, and that's a really big round to win for the attack,
Oh, wow.
because they're gonna break the defense by.
So
That was
Navi had
insane.
the open plant, they had Angel in main, and then I think it was it Ruxic who TP'd up onto the platform, and we're in smokes as players are walking back through. I would love to see that from another POV.
Nice shots.
But Jules won as far as Navi are concerned, and it has pushed KC onto an eco here as well.
Yeah, and well, you look at Sugetsu to be the only one with a rifle trying to spam in B main, where there was plenty of bodies to hit. Unfortunately, not a point of damage felt by Navi.
Burn the paranoia, do it.
Set up with this very deep wall, of which I know Mitch is a massive
Okay,
fan.
one Fade Dog and they don't have B main. That's
Group
nice.
up
They're
through
already all
market.
rotating towards B. That's also really
We're
nice.
starting to investigate mid
Martin
now late
holding
on.
A
KC
alone.
have put player numbers here multiple
But I guess
times.
he's gonna
This is one of
TP.
the
Oh, never
first where
mind.
they show us a more passive style.
Yeah, and at the same time,
Wait.
Martin's getting a load of information just sitting in A main. Doesn't have anyone to fill that space in heaven, though. That's the only thing to worry about for KC.
They're just
Martin,
going towards
though,
A
with a
now.
chance to maybe take that main space if it does
Because
come
they
through
don't
mid,
have
but
fence
instead,
info.
this is looking
That's
like a
why, I
B
guess.
split.
Oh,
KC know it. They can feel that something's in the water. From tower,
what?
Koala goes.
Nice
Supported
scaling.
by the long TP backside, making the cross, connecting with it, and the transfer as well is there.
Nice,
Angel
nice,
by
nice.
side, this is comfortable for Navi. KC again, just feel like they have players in the right position, but in this round it's the guns and it's Shao that shuts it all down.
Cosmic Divide now up. You're wanting Angel to try and get a pick or at least get caught out, and he is going to
Beautiful.
get that. So the Nightfall is well being kept for
Actual
the next round.
really nice
and in zone
calling.
flawless and well
Really
played by
good
Navi.
calling.
And
that's
looking
the
at
difference
the players
between
here as well, that's 4 out
EMEA,
of 5 that didn't break their
IGL
heavy shields,
and,
so still have all of their armor,
Brazil.
don't need to pay for a single upgrade, and that's absolutely huge in terms of bolstering this economy.
Angel taking it by himself, bro.
Angel taking it by himself. Bro, Angel just has
Speaking in the third
two persons.
And Navi playing like they're sat in the audience right now, I think, in terms of how they've approached a lot of these rounds. Even if it has been the site where KC is set up, it just does feel like they're winning the duels convincingly. We haven't seen all too much to get excited about from the defense so far, but that's where the ults start to come up, and this timeout has that much more importance placed on it.
In terms of what KC have been doing though on the defense, like how do you change that up? What do you do differently? It feels as if like when it comes to some of these retakes, Navi are so well prepared in what they need to do to stop Carmine Core coming back in.
Also, you know, just even the mid info as well, like many times you'll see a round of split be decided on who has control of that area of the map. I find it all the more intriguing that neither of these teams are running the Breach or the Teho, right? The premium refreshable utility that you have, those signatures to take that space. So an opportunity to try and exploit.
Angel 1000 kills!
1,000 kill landmark hit.
Angel has nearly the same amount of kills as Martin.
Finally, the big man
Holy
gets
crap.
there, and NAVI looks as if they're going to be able to get this A site for pretty much free as they set Koala Noob up. Sadak, though, trying to find a little spot in which he can try and keep himself alive. Koala catches a Vez. There's more players there to fight.
It's just Sadak looking like him from elbow.
Oh wow, nice
in
trades,
from
beautiful
the vent
trades.
position.
KC just don't know
NAVI
what to
just
do.
know all too well.
And they should expect flank. Angel
Spike goes
turn.
down. Leads to the retake, gets his
Angel!
first 1v1.
Okay,
and
he
takes
didn't get
Angel
the
out of play.
1001st kill.
Viper Pit is still up,
Unluckily.
so if NAVI lose control of the spike, could get a little bit worrying.
Worrying.
Still have the Astra util up, 4 stars on show.
Show.
And, all the
Oh,
extra
wow.
utility, but Elite wants in.
He
What a
actually
statement
uses
this
his
is.
ult.
Viper's pit dropped, still not spotted. Had the molly out, was thinking about it. Gravity well, the expected response, still no stun, still no challenge. Na'Vi should be looking to take this on, or one player at a time just means that they can buy themselves the clock as
Nice,
much as
Shao.
possible.
Shao is
That's how
playing
you've got
so
to manage
well.
the situation. Na'Vi doing a
Beautiful.
great job, and while there isn't a player left to tell the tale, that is round number 6, and some serious security about this attack side now.
Yeah, they've done really well to get the advantage that they've got. Not only that, this round, I don't know what happens. A bit of chaos, and I was worried for NAVI
11
moving
ninjas will
towards
Shao.
heaven.
Holy
But Shao
crap.
does well to get rid of that. Now for the next one, we're back to another swing round. KC, well, if they lose this, back
Wait,
to an
Heretics
equal
were
rate.
winning
They've
10
got the
and 0
showstopper
on
to use, though.
KC, and KC came back.
Just feels like such a telegraphed play though, Cairo. So Casey, wait a moment before they pull the trigger, and it will go off with a
what the
bang.
hell?
Aves has 2, but he
Oh!
might need more. Gets his 3rd,
Oh,
can't get
wow.
out. Rooksik with 2 bullets in the Outlaw finds 2 kills. And control of the spike back on the Na'Vi side.
Wait, he stayed on B.
Do well to get the even trades. The Angel now coming to support Rooksik in his endeavours.
Casey playing the mid round nicely though. They've regrouped both players. They're now starting to walk back down mid and have a look in. Hero's wall is missing from sewers, and with this information, they know there is the possibility to commit to making this a double flank.
Oh
For
my.
Na'Vi,
Yeah,
you're
Navi, I
wondering
mean,
how much
KC just
extra
won the
real
round
estate
with
they're
that
willing to
flank.
take
That's a
in this
really good
situation.
flank.
It's not only that, though, there's plenty of time to play with if you're on the attack.
No, they
and
didn't. Oh
timing
my
here
god, this is gonna be
is
so close.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, Na'Vi are taking a lot of it to get onto the site. They
Bro,
don't have enough
they're
to
so
play around
late.
with.
They're so late.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, this timing,
and it's
this
Elite
timing.
Sugetsu right behind as the spike looks to
Oh,
drop
Angel.
and it's the player instead.
Hold on.
Angel another up against Elite. First bit of damage goes his
please,
way.
my king boy.
Still has utility.
King boy, what?
Captain to clutch it. And then around he goes to the corner. The spike plant.
Ah,
but
no,
Elite
unlucky.
finding the shots and putting KC back on the map.
I mean, at the same time,
Angel just got a small heart
NAVI
attack,
don't
just-
think about this
his-
flank
his,
whatsoever. The fight in
hand
A
on his
main is
heart.
good from either side, even trades, but with how long they took, surely you think to the back of your head,
Shao was too
could
quick to peek.
where the players come from.
Brilliant individual moments from both Rooksik and Aves on either side of the server. Each in their rookie year, but proving indispensable.
Wait, Angel is better
their
than Martin.
sides.
Someone click that.
KC aren't out the woods yet with their economy either. Martin
Imagine telling your
Here's the fight.
kids
targets to
that you
hit.
had a bigger.
He's doing so.
Whoa,
He's got
whoa,
2
whoa.
and he's out.
I mean, that's just
That
ridiculous.
was insane.
And then right behind it, you've got Elite with the molly and the smoke, so no chance Na'Vi to get back in here anytime soon. The Prowler will clear a player 10 paces back, but Elite remains ahead of the curve, and that's where Angel will fail to
What?
clear him.
Oh.
It was a 5 versus 2, but Hero gets one back in the conversation. Again, though, these players are so split up
4v2.
from one another, and you're asking for heroics again to win a round for Na'Vi.
I mean, these are the players to do it though. 2 to fight.
Double peek.
Rooksik.
Oh, come on!
I feel like it's the second.
It's just
Oh,
the
so
one that he
close.
settles for, though. It looks to have paved the way for Hero on the A site. Haunt drops into heaven.
How does he play
He
this?
should really be expecting this second player, though, and you can start to see the movements on the map suggesting it as well.
Hero's trying to look for something to work with.
You have to be in these situations. Does have both Thorns, Arc Rose.
This is so difficult to play.
If it gets to it, it's another situation, a clutch of which he is so capable. But will he be up to the task here to confirm that advantage on this attack half?
This is so hard to win.
Big round if he could do it. Has had highlight moments before. We think towards the GX game where it took him a long time to have his first death. To come up in a 1 versus 3 here, you've also got to consider Sadak has the Nightfall, which he will use, so Hero loses a lot of health decayed, and he decides to go for an ultimate of his own. He fancies this as the players send it their way. Actions on He had no sight, but he doesn't
there is
even
no
need
way.
a Red Bull clutch to
I did not
send
expect
Navi
him to
into
win
an
that.
advantage in the second half.
Jesus
Absolutely disgusting from Hero, and he knows it. 7th secured.
That was insane.
And it's a situation where you feel like KC have to take the time out. Actually, it's not
Yo.
me that call it. Maybe for composure more than anything else, but we chalked the situation up to be exactly what it was.
That was
One that
so
Hero was
cool.
capable of winning. So many
That has to go
multi-frags
down
on
like
that
one of
standout
the best
display
ones
that we saw
in
against
EMEA
GX that you
playoffs this
mentioned
year.
there.
And I think
What?
as well,
Wait, that was a
though, as you
2v5,
say, like maybe for
1v4 clutch, I
composure,
feel
but
like.
there is
No,
still
1v3,
a lot of
okay.
mistakes that Navi are making
Still
within
impressive
the
though,
actual
the shots
round
were
itself.
nice.
It was Heroics that won them that, and sure it breaks KC's bye, but this is what I imagine we're seeing from the coaching staff to come in and talk about, and just like make sure we're not putting paper over cracks.
Completely agree with what you're saying. You don't want to wash away that blood without sealing the wound. And Navi certainly coming into this
Spacing
game.
was really bad by KC though.
Plenty of things to consider coming out of the BBL match.
And the
Right, the
other ones
story
weren't
as
even
it
close.
was, they won
How
all
do-
4 pistol
how
rounds.
do you
It was in
see-
the rifle
oh,
rounds
wow.
where they struggled. Moments like this make all the difference.
Ew.
And just looking back at it, I mean, there was no sound,
no.
so for Aves just trying to get
Oh
the
my
element of surprise. Oh my lord. So it's just reminding us that he has had a trim as the hat comes flying off the head.
Bro.
That is
Oh, the
insane.
coaches. Oh
But
no.
that is a Red Bull clutch for the books, and now
It is.
looking
It
at
is for the books actually.
the hefty bill that KC have been forced to foot here.
I have the spike.
It's just pistols.
And the Bucky and the
Bucky,
Guardian.
Guardian,
That's what you're looking towards, right?
choice weaponry.
Martin has been the enigma many a time on Carmine Corin. I mean, Sadak was talking about it. We need to know when to use the X Factor, and well, in this position, they certainly need it as they go to take these fights in mid.
Ew.
Last time it was 2 kills for
Angel,
Martin
don't
in
fight,
the
please.
TPL, but on a round such as this, you're happy to get away with the goods.
Yep.
Anything that can just snowball the late round into something a bit more winnable, and he's
Nah,
even going to
he doesn't
invest
get
the
any
ultimate.
info of
Gets
this.
a rifle back in his hands though because he's using that dimensional drift.
Yeah, and the pass is the one that he had over to Sugetsu. So with every passing second, this defense continues to get stronger, and that's the story of the B site. A 4th player pulled over.
No, they should have
Elite
just
on
gone
the
A.
approach as
There's no
Navi
time
get
left
ready to walk into this one like lambs to the slaughter.
As well, Sugetsu would have
This is so
information
risky.
to
This
try and
is so
shoot through,
risky.
but Koala's
Oh,
beating the
ew.
smoke, and the gunfights, they're
Oh,
going
okay,
KC's
okay,
way.
okay, chill, chill,
Quick
chill.
trade, still numbers with the defense. Angel does get spotted, but look at
Timing.
Aves walking out. 15 seconds, still no plan.
And the
no.
spike's down cold. How does
happening.
Angel get that back?
Unreal from
my
Carmine Core in this
Yo,
round.
yo, yo. They should
Sure,
have just
you
gone
can
A
come
with
up
that.
with a huge individual moment, but when we call on a team performance, it's KC that deliver the pay safe card thrifty.
Now moving into
Didn't
the
that
next.
videos already 2 times?
Even
No,
after
they didn't.
Navi timing out and still losing that round, they have ultimates in which to work with. These are really nice shots from Sugetsu and Martin that were able to snowball into a round win.
And that comes through it being a micro masterclass as well. Just the finer details, passing a weapon over, not, you know, blowing all the cash on a few different guns. This time it's
what
the fall, but it's Martin again! How does he do it? Every round good for the one and still not down.
Rooksy trying to play it up above once again, at least gets
Revenge.
the trades out. So no more Viper utility on the defense.
And that has been a mainstay through middle in terms of how KC can dictate the pace of play. Hero on another one of his signature lurks, and that's Sadak gone. As the captain is lost to the A site, it opens up completely for Na'Vi.
There's also a cosmic divide for the post plant to even buy more delay.
That's on top of what Hero has already thrown to the deck. The wall, the thorns, and the flash in front. Fake out from Martin to try and clear this early util, but the divide is up early, and Na'Vi are ready to receive those players.
KC know that they can't get out of CT, so they're repositioning for Heaven as a way of getting out, but at the same time, Cosmic Divide is denying them any sort of line of sight
playing
here.
close, I mean side.
Finding the wick at both ends, but knowing that this is all the time that they've got left. The util's gone in and done
What is that?
Martin
They're just trying to kill
the
them?
way, hold the torch, but it goes dark. So get to the last player standing. Long-serving member of Na'Vi under Angel. But with Hero, the new boy on the block, having his mark made on yet another round, a lurk turned into a full site hold. Thought Martin had done enough.
How is Martin alive in there? I mean, yeah.
This is an insane round from Hero, and I really like the post
That
plan
by
by
Sadak was
Na'Vi.
such
And moving into this next round, again, we just have to highlight what's up and available. It's Hero Steel Garden, and it's come
just got
through
7 kills
his
in
ability
2
to
rounds.
find these picks. It's coming up time and time again. This will be a really big round if Na'Vi can win it, because that would be a 9-3 half. Martin trying to be the one, the difference maker, but instead it's a difference maker for Na'Vi.
He just deep it into his own demise.
Elite's already got a Sheriff. That's all he can have. Doesn't matter. After the makes no difference. 3-1 back. Still Heaven control. Spike going in, and look at Angel.
Angel is just taking his time.
Sorry, it was Sadak on the other side. I thought we had some kind of flank coming in, but no. It's all bodies as far as Na'Vi are concerned on A. And a retake which just doesn't feel feasible.
No, both players disconnected
no
as
way they
well.
win
How do
this,
you even
right?
get back into this one?
Oh, he saw him.
Short answer is no. Long answer is no, you don't. Koala with his third on the round. KC having to settle for just 3 from this defender's side. It doesn't even feel like they've hit the baseline. Na'Vi, the ground running on their own map pick of Split. Can they carry that onwards?
I don't think I've seen a more dominant attack ever. That TP was so stupid. Nice shots. Okay, Booster, get out of my face, man. Tariq, hello. He's still not? Okay, he is.
Damn, I haven't done this in a while. I have no idea where that is.
World of Deute. Wait, what is that country? Wait. Is this not just the American? Wait, World. I want to play that too. World. The reject play. How? What do I do? Z. Wait, what? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Help? Okay, I have no idea how to play this. Oh man.
Low key, it's probably. It's not Poland, is it?
Poland. Bro just said Poland.
I don't see any countries that are ringing a bell. Fuck, what's the answer?
Wait, it's not even Croatia,
It's
is it?
Croatia? No, it's not. That's not true. What? Is that far?
They are running the
Oh, I didn't
I didn't know it was
think.
that far.
Martin both having
Damn.
moment. create something a little bit more here. 5
Shout out
ghosts
to
brought up.
KD.
Just playing the default, looking for a pick off any player.
Something to bring it back to what Sadhak was saying in that interview was just have to focus on things round by round, and in a 9-3 deficit,
Nice bait though.
you would expect this
Oh,
is
no.
exactly the game plan. Koala Noob noted through the haunt. At the same time, KC are also got the eyes set on mid. They've got a vice wall to try and fight through. It's procced.
Oh wow!
That was a right
That was
click.
so
And it was on
nice.
top of the wall as well. It's not too often you see that played, but
Mm-hmm.
this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Game by game, his vice looks to get better and better.
Angel.
Oh wait, my headset is low.
He's exploring an avenue in which you don't necessarily want
Nice
to be
kill,
in, and
eh?
he's being hunted down at the same time.
There's a double tether there though, so has bought himself a little bit of space. Still no support. Angel,
He's just fighting that.
good for the first. Still, Na'Vi are so slow to follow this up.
Yeah, and if they try and execute in towards A, those storms that are live, as you've just heard, will deny
They're just
them
playing this
entry.
slow. This is nice.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
But be damned if you do, and if you don't,
Oh,
go
no,
back
no,
to
no, no,
middle.
no, no, no,
That's
no.
where Ruxic is already waiting.
What are you
on
guys
this
looking
fence
at?
Side. Oh, but the A-hold can't hold up its end of the bargain. Sui's found 2. Na'Vi are on the
We're
other
just
side of
looking
the
at that
veil.
small
the curtain
gap.
put
I
up
don't
in their
even
face,
think that.
and the plant coming in open, even without that extra control.
Oh wait, this is still
Player was
winnable.
ready to play
Oh,
on
this
one
is
another, but that's a
very
big kill from Shao.
winnable.
It brings it back even. The last 2
It's not
remaining
even
players
even.
on
It's
KC
unfair
are low.
against.
Out in the open,
Oh.
Martin felt like a sitting duck, but quickly he responds. Shao, the healthiest of the players left in the server,
Oh
looking
my
for
God,
more,
Martin.
but it's Martin
Where did he
that
come
makes
from?
manifest this KC attack side berth.
Yeah, I mean, that's both teams with 2 pistol rounds to their names, 1 on each map. And again, though, with that being said, getting this one over the line is going to be a great way to start this half and their comeback.
Yo,
into
Martin
split.
with these shots is. Oh wow.
Onto the attack side as well, something from the Liquid game, the glimpses that we got of it, was the post plant. Had looked a little bit shaky at points.
Mm-hmm.
Go no further with that conversation, but the point being is, as this one moves forwards, you're looking at it being double dive, right? Something which, again, Sadhak has shown affiliation towards, typically the Jet, but Martin's Yoru, iconic as it is, you're wondering how much utility can they stockpile when they get into these positions? How difficult can they make it for Na'Vi to have successful retakes?
I think this time we'll see what we saw on Icebox in terms of denying orbs and
my
taking
orb.
it slow. So KC, this will be number 5, so we'll end up 4 rounds the difference between the 2.
Angel is ahead of them
Right
all.
now, it's Elite, the player that should be looking to try and cause any problems. In fact, he's the only solo player towards ramp. The double
wow.
up comes with the rifles, and with
Two
Sugetsu's
people
name in
jumping?
the feed. That's a
Mhm.
couple for him. Casey still keeping this one clean. Time slowly ticking away. Martin now the one on the hunt as that ghost changes hands.
Oh!
Headshot Ruxic, trying to farm up some of these old points, but Sugetsu's
What
the
the hell?
one that is just a single point away from having his in the next. And there it is. From the shadows comes online, as do KC. That's 5 now, looking towards a very strong bonus round.
Yeah, can KC now show Navi how to convert a bonus round with their buy, because they have all 5 players on a rifle. Some
Ooh.
nice shots
Some
all
nice
in,
shots
but
then. Yeah.
I mean, it was futile
Yep,
resistance coming through from Navi.
4 kills for that guy.
Still at the same time, Navi have been building up the same time some really nice ultimates and halfway towards Shao's Cosmic Divide.
Slay bestie. It's the highest win rate in that metric. And it's a round like this when I'm looking at 4 Vandals, a Bulldog, and quite a few regen shields, in fact, 4 of them. Big fans of the new kit. AC slow on their mid approach, but taking the necessary steps. The Haunt clears vents, but Ruxic is here.
Oh, wow.
And with his rifle in hand, that's Martin gone, no trade.
Yeah, there's still support as well through Koala Noob. That utility combo looked good, but
Ouch. He missed his nade.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't get the nade just doesn't hit as well as what it should.
And so for these early investments all KC made towards mid, they haven't really held on to the space. It's only Aves deposited here. Can't quite track Ruxic as you saw Sugetsu find that kill on B and send it backside.
There's no way
he goes to the spectator screen now.
There's a lot of ambitious plays coming through here. And while KC get control of the A site, you're looking at Aves in the position that he's found himself in.
It's just going to be calling KC back towards this side of the map, towards B, behind the standard lurk wall. They will go into vents. Hero just about in position to catch on to this, but does he expect Aves?
Hero
The
should know,
reason
we know,
for
we
the
know, we know.
rotation, a deep clear, but he walks to the open, and that's the advantage for the attack side.
Yeah, that could be the deadly blow on the round. 15 seconds, plenty of space to get that spike down. As for the two remaining, Koala and Ruxic, they have utility in which to work with. Most importantly, Koala's nade.
Smoke setup as well are going to completely estrange the main players. In fact, it's a little short of the mark. It's just to help cross into sight, and always the possibility of a player swinging back from outside it. NAVI are slow in their movement to the side.
But look at the crossfire, you can't really swing out into this.
Oh wait.
Someone's going to have to soon though, surely not another full stick. Satchel coming in to push at least a player off, but the spike's already been halved, and that's where someone needs to step up. Someone on the Na'Vi side, it has to be Ruxic. Second smoke, but can't find the firefight. Sadak delivers a bullet to his brain. That's a sixth for KC, and I tell you what, Cairo, it's the bonus that they've picked up.
Yeah, and not only that, you win the bonus, you destroy the buy of the defense. And Na'Vi,
that was interesting.
I can't believe I'm saying
no,
this.
Angel
They're
through
letting
so
another lead potentially go to the wayside, this time in the round count. And you think for a minute they're going to be able to get the defuse through as well.
I'm so stupid, I didn't.
I don't know what it is he didn't realize. Potentially the smoke's still in play. I feel like that would be a bit too much of an oversight. Okay, nice shot, Martin. Into his dome piece, 5 HP left. But I think that round as well tracks what I was saying about those post-plant situations. KC still grouped up though, able to haul it through. The threat in this round for me is Koala's Bucky, but yeah, solo A. Spike not yet committed, but Na'Vi already showing they're willing to show face.
It's like, yeah, the threat is Koala's Bucky, but are they going to go anywhere near it? I mean, it looks like Elite is though.
Spike is behind this, little bit separated.
Oh no.
Koala up close. This could be a problem, but as Elite walks and just hugs the back
unlucky
wall.
timing, really
That's
unlucky
the safety
timing and
from the
movement.
Bucky. Away from striking distance. KC on the A site. Moving here with intent
They're
now.
still
All 5 players
there's 3
heavy
main.
main control, but concessions made towards spawn. It's such a long rotation for Angel though. So there's no real moves to be made right now.
Oh wow.
Oh, that is a big move though. That should clear out main completely. Na'Vi won't know that, but it's still all 4 players on site. If they can constrict them and stop them from getting out, 4 rifles could be lost here.
Shackled by the thorns, sent out by Hero. The tether on top and the reveal behind it. KC looking to win the round at the very least, but can you get out with the guns if you were able to? Ruxic finds 2. Shao needs a couple more. He's not going to be able to win this, but in terms of damage control, I think Na'Vi have made a bit of a dent here. KC up to 7, and that's the big talking point. Just 2 rounds in it. Still the defense yet to pick one up when they had a flawless defender's half last time they played this map.
And that's the big thing, right? And I wonder if that's what KC looked at in terms of their ante in towards this. If they were thinking about game plan management, right? Their defense side didn't look too good, but their attack even better.
And one important statistic that
Angel
needs
is
to be mentioned about that
Angel is doing Angel
is
things.
that they didn't concede a single first death, Na'Vi. So they always had the run of play going their way.
Oh, Angel is their first death.
Uncomfortable situations again, which is the serious stress test of how well the team is doing.
Oh wow.
Martin, close, did see Koala, but Ruxic hasn't been identified.
What is that? Just don't reposition, dude. Why? Just stay there. They didn't know.
Instead,
And they cannot see you there.
And KC don't want to rush this. They're playing the game at their own pace. They have the tools now. Sadak still with the Nightfall available, so if you wanted to tag up a couple players, you could potentially get Martin in behind. But it looks like he's just going to full send it B instead and clear out. Some of this potential utility wall included, but no fake out to remove it.
Yeah, remember, the dimensional drift
really
doesn't have as long
onside.
as what it used to be, so the Nightfall comes in, and Hero's found a pocket, trying to walk it, make it go in his favour, but it doesn't. Shao does instead.
Shao.
Needs to
Shao.
Getsu, he
Shao.
does, and puts Navi one player to the good, trying to use his own star to make a pocket where he can walk and does so on for the ace, but it's Koala who's in the next engagement and loses.
There's no way.
Loses a chance now for Elite to run to the other side of the map.
That's the green light. And in terms of what he has to work with, he still pocketed that poison cloud. One off the pit as well. So many tools to just play around. And Shao coming back into this, just a single star, and not much health to support it.
Oh no.
Viper's pit, and I mean, it's not as if
he's
you'd have
ahead of
much
it.
health anyway.
Wow.
Elite quick on the swing out.
Holy
A Red Bull
crap.
clutch brings us within
Oh, no.
one of these two teams.
Oh no.
And as I said before,
Bro,
Navi
he
are just not
tried
getting these
so
rounds on their own
hard to win
terms and
this round.
conditions. I have to say, after
He got
KC
4
finding
and then
that
just
opener, it
Koala
did
just
feel like
misses
they
the
rushed
option.
things and it was kind of
Oh
messy
my
towards the B
lord.
side of the map. Navi doing well to dissuade, but I mean, Elite winning another clutch for as many as Navi built their empire on their own attack side with these 1vx's.
Uh-oh.
That is such a backbreaker now. 5 rounds consecutive and you're digging into empty pockets.
You are, again, defense eco is never kind when you find yourself at the back of a run of rounds from the attack. And what do you talk about here if you're Navi? Try and amend the mistakes that you've been making.
We've seen that Navi are very willing to invest and upfront some huge ultimates in rounds which don't best suit them economically. However, they don't really have the ones that I think you could really cause a problem with here. It's more looking towards that retake.
I was just sorry to cut you off, mate, but like
Just
you
interesting
think that
to
you say
play.
that, but I feel as if a Steel Garden on a
just
retake, you even the playing
fade
field.
and double
Like, I
smokes.
don't hate that idea, but
It's
the one
interesting,
thing I do
but,
hate
like,
is Navi always invest in those ultimates.
I was just about to say,
They're
that
forcing?
when you
No.
look at Happy's
No,
history,
no.
even as a player, he was always someone very good at doing more with less, at least in terms of weaponry, so I find it funny. This is the situation we're in, it's Hero.
Oh, it's a
The Sheriff
triple
in his
push
hands
A, I
this
like
time.
that.
A hand cannon, as it were.
And there's always two ways of approaching a round after a timeout. Do you either play it fast and loose, or do you play it slow and methodical? And KC looking to go the latter route. They dot their I's, cross their T's, and
Slowthrower's mid, they're
Navi are like
exploding mid.
moths
It's
to
gonna be a
flame,
B split.
trying to respond to
An
any
angel,
sort of
man,
pressure.
why?
Yeah.
KC are poking and prodding throughout the map.
And they still have a minute left here as well, Cairo.
It's of Nightfall as well.
It is. Angel getting it up from the orb picked from the floor of A main. That's where the initial aggression was. Navi kind of hoping that they can shepherd KC
I did not
into
like
the
that
setup. They're still going
Nightfall.
to get the B execute. But this one feels like it's at KC's pace rather than Navi having set the precedent.
Shao found out. He's
Oh,
able to get one of
him
his
getting
own,
one
though.
is insane.
Ruxic has a Spectre as well, so as you come onto the B site and close quarters environment, you would favour Ruxic here.
Around the smoke.
Oh my.
Spectre in hand. Hero also on his lonesome. 20 seconds time. Not really here for them. Needing to clear out those couple of players, but
Okay.
look, Avez is a safe pair of hands.
Wait, just
2
deny the
kills
plant,
quickly.
no?
Spike
Oh, you
in a
can.
spot where you would want Koala's nade maybe to stop it. It's going to take a while for him to get back over. The rest of the upgrades are on site. Angel does have the Vandal. He's trying to play it kind of early.
And that horn to clear close by, but that rifle now passed over to Koala.
Oh.
He doesn't even have shields either.
No, and I don't know how much more of a go he wants to give this. He won't get half a chance. That's 6 rounds now. Successive
in a
for
row.
KC.
On
Split should have been the shoe-in for NAVI, but now you're looking at the real possibility of a completely catastrophic second half, the defender-sided half, of which we saw
not looking at his ass is
before.
weird.
But now it's poor and it's porous.
Yeah, it's not looking good whatsoever. The ultimates to come back in. Sure, they used the Nightfall, but there's plenty more
the AWP again.
at their side.
That does not work on this man. You have to be aggressive.
A couple players here to try and brawl it out. Koala holds on to B main with his operator.
The first real time that you've seen that op come in play as well. The desk talking about it in detail, how Navi's macro is built around this. A consistent factor in that game against BBL yesterday. Felt like they had the right read a lot of times when they were trying to scout it out, but not able to deal and contain that threat fully. Already looking at both Prowlers being invested in mid here. Angels just keeping half an eye on it.
Remember, Ruxik still to make his introduction here as well, so this has been really good baiting out by Angel, and Ruxik's able to get 2, but Casey, 2 back in the conversation. It's even after that engagement.
They have the tower control here as well, which they have so frequently enjoyed.
How is Shao on top?
He's in a one and done angle. He can't really escape from there.
But Casey have closed it off. Sadak looking to use his utility through this smoke, play around with the timing.
Oh wow, he's
the haunt mid-air is Shao, but still finding the kills.
Help
has the
me!
ult if he needs it.
Oh wow.
Just to get that first round on the board, you might as well pull the trigger now.
He's also buying time for Hero to get into position as well.
But Hero doesn't want to go too quickly because he's worried that Sadak might have repositioned. Still 10 toes down on the B site.
Oh man,
and as the showstopper goes off, he knows where Koala is. If he can find this kill, then maybe there was a chance.
He should have peeked a little bit and shot his feet because he had the longer angle.
Double digits, but it took a while.
Yeah, that's the exact point I was coming in with. The fact that it took taking 7 rounds to find that round as well. I mean, the benefit from that last round is that Casey were able to get the showstopper. The bad thing is, they chose their own.
Sure, Koala noob. And again, you're just expecting him to be involved as much as possible on these rounds when he has the op. Through mid, he'll go this time. Smoke place market side, but he's the first responder to the ramp play.
Shoot them.
Yeah, for the most part, Navi were happy to lean heavier towards other places in the map. So now the players start to rotate in. Casey had a free site, they don't anymore.
How?
The wall not
How
yet
are they getting
tricked
this
in that position.
praise?
They know it's the flood out from main. Casey get themselves on site.
Wait,
Without
they have
Koala noob,
ult.
his trusty op, the support of player presence. It's Casey that take this
Actually
fight early.
pushing CT.
Trying to go in towards CT, the ultimates now.
Wait, they're not capitalizing?
The first of which is the Steel Garden. Ruxik trying to use his own ultimate, and there's a pocket to work with. And behind the Cosmic Divide, Casey aware of this, trying to respond. Martin and the rest of the players fall at the same time. A distraction, but Abbott still not found. Finally he is.
Nah, dude.
And
Nah, bro. There's no way.
Very quickly,
Angel should take the fizz.
And it's so important that they do as well.
But Angel getting 2, Ruxik getting 1 or 2. Like, how are they winning? Wow, that was beautiful.
I don't think there was any world where Casey were going to get caught off guard fully by that Cosmic Divide TP play. You remember back to kickoff last year, they were the ones that pioneered it with the Yoru, but it's the fact that there is no return there.
I think that's the thing though, right? You say that, there's no way they're going to get caught off
Angel
guard.
got 2.
But they do in another sense. They put so much investment into trying to deal with it that Navi are able to get the value.
Come on.
It's like a
I
distraction.
want to make 3.
Yeah, look. It's your favorite set retake over here in backside, and then the rest of Navi have a different kind of approach. The next round just as important as the last, and that can be said for KC.
Oh, they
most
have full
importantly.
vandals, and only
Stinger
Shao
and
has a
Martin,
phantom.
the rest have the guns they would like.
And he knows what he's
Sadak
doing because
5 players through the mouth of main.
Outcome, Koala's op has been notified, and well, Shao found out as well.
Ruxik is insane.
An elbow drop onto the head of Carmine Court. and Ruxik's still able to survive.
Angel!
And he has support as well.
Let's go.
NAVI are looking to send this towards 12.
Nice.
And they'll get it.
Yes.
That's 3 in a row.
Yes, I love
All come up at the exact right
teams
time.
getting cooked.
I mean, it was bound to happen. The 9-3 comeback, we get to 9-9 and it's all NAVI.
But it's like the same storyline that happened on Icebox.
Beautiful. Ruxik saved
Absolutely.
them so much.
Question
Wow.
now will be, can they close it on not completely
And Angel
favourable
just got
terms? KC
a third of
still
his
have money
all
left in the
kills in
bank.
2
They've got a
rounds.
timeout from which to work. But that was, you know, a precious ult invested. The first couple of picks collected, but then NAVI with the rest of the player numbers and Ruxik dropping out of tower.
Angel is the second on the
double kill,
rating?
reinforcing the backside space with his smoke as well to his left-hand side.
How is he 1.02?
Enabling everyone else around
Martin
him.
is 39 and
As both
38
smokes are the
already.
stars on the NAVI
Oh.
side.
Can you see this easily going to overtime as well? I don't
Brother.
think NAVI are completely out of the woods just yet.
40%
I mean, you
headshot
look
for
at the money as well,
Martin.
it's still not amazing on the defense.
Okay, okay.
As
Wait,
for the attack,
Tariq,
where
what
they've
are you
found
doing?
most of their success, I guess less of their success recently. They've been caught off guard with these retakes.
Oh, oops.
And it's a point that I raised much earlier, but
From 9 to
I
3
suppose
to
it
12
was
to
almost
9 is
invalidated
crazy
with that
though.
streak of success from KC, but some underlying issues
Fake
starting
comeback
to
though,
pop
who
up in
cares?
these rounds that
A win is
matter
a win,
most
doesn't
when you
matter
felt
if
like
it's
the
13
teams were on even
or
terms, that
11 or 13-1.
big swing in their direction has been met with an equal response.
Ruxik and Shout up fragging.
So
Wow.
here we have it, KC to hang on and not head towards Ascent.
Ruxik had a bad Ascent map if I wait.
Koala
Mid
Needs to be
walkout?
careful of shops.
complete confidence in taking this space right now. As you've highlighted, KC hanging on,
Oh my.
just waiting with bated breath for him to peek in.
Oh.
And as he goes round the corner, it fires back. Alves
Wow.
to get the once
Them
over.
just sitting on their ass
His
waiting
opposite
for him is
number.
insane.
And you look back to the streak of rounds that KC won, they always had that first pick.
He did. Ruxik though, he's trying to be
Oi,
a bit
oi,
too
oi.
aggressive for my liking. Invest in the paranoia so he
was-
can get
that
out
was
and calling for
pretty
support.
close.
Angel.
Two players touched.
Angel. I mean, it's 1.5
Look at
players
Hero
because
in
of
the
Angel.
meantime, completely
Okay,
detached from
I
all of
should
this
not-
on A.
Should not be mean like
Elite
that.
is going to be walking on up behind his own wall at a moment's notice, or in fact it's a full cancel as this garage space is taken. It looks like KC want in with the dimensional drift which they've just brought up through the ult point.
I like that though. You know, you go and clear out, but I don't think Shao's been
No,
found
Shao
out
hasn't
there.
been
He finds
spotted.
himself in the smoke,
Wow.
close to players. Angel found out. That main fight's going to be a big one. Shao
Oh
gets
my
the
god,
Getsu.
Shao gets that.
Oh, there's
Shao
more to be
gets
had.
that.
Time is low and it's all on Shao. If he can hold this side of the map, then
He's
maybe it's enough for
insane!
Hero to come in and save the day again.
Who is
And
this?
already
Run
taking on
away.
that responsibility.
Oh yeah, good
finds
boy.
the first
Good boy,
and
just run
freezes.
away. Good
Waits for his
boy.
teammate to come in and support.
That's
No utility on
insane.
either.
They don't know
Shao
if
Star
he's
won't come
backside
back
or
up on
where.
time.
I
Oh
don't
my
think KC
god, Shao
fully
activate.
realise where exactly Shao has gotten off to. Hero with the flash to just lay this back up. It does get destroyed, and the drop-in not yet here. As he's
Oh my
finally spotted, Hero responds, and this might just be how the second map ends. It's all on Martin
Oh.
between KC and the decider. The first kill is his. The TP across, and the time on his side.
There's no way.
Shao has to stick it half. Martin
Oh,
knows
wow.
it and
He just
nails the
counts to
shot.
3
a Red
or
Bull
something.
clutch. 10 taken. KC
Wow.
still alive.
I can't believe we managed to
That
get
was
into
so
a position
close.
where
Shao
it
is
is
playing
winnable for
so
NAVI.
well. He's
Martin,
playing so
again,
well.
we speak about X Factor. That's a player you can depend upon when it's needed. And
How?
again, I highlighted it just before we went through this round. And Navi's bio didn't look great into the next round because of the money that they have, and that's exactly the case. Both teams are stricken for options here. A big swing round and deciding if this map is done or we go
Wait,
overtime.
It's the biggest round in this series so far. It's Shao again, who needs to keep his composure. One kill might not be enough, especially due to the fact there isn't players on site this time. playing from tower, they'll keep the space at the very least, but
Wala's nades have been pretty
Wait
good
for
in past
plant?
though.
yeah, I think he needs an extra layer of support to find this kill. Instead, it just buys time. Na'Vi have made that rotation happen.
Yeah, that Nightfall still up and available for Angel. This retake could be pretty good for Navi.
Oh. Wait, they think there's nobody back there, and his Nightfall.
Still not spotted. Sadak at a top draw. His Armors onto the next. KC coming up clutch in the rounds that they need. The absolute most. Regulation
Navi
to the limits of it. We will
choking
go.
like last man.
24 rounds on the table, and KC still not keeling.
They're going to have to throw the kitchen sink.
If this
at
goes
this
OT,
round. They
Navi
have
lost.
absolutely nothing in terms of their buy. It was a big
What the hell
swing
was
round,
that?
and it swung defiantly in KC's favour. The ultimates.
It wasn't even that a good shot.
Here or there, you look at it, depending on the way that some of these kills go, or ultimate orbs, that could be a defining factor.
But it feels like a very straightforward round from KC in their 11th hour on Split to send us to a second successive overtime in the elimination series. They head into the double stack of utility set up. Aves has the ult, but at the best of times, he's been unable to land it. Xiao from the corner, finally spotted, still not taken down, and while Aves gets one in the meantime,
wow, Xiao's
still walking away with one, and Koala gets his but can't get out. Spike's still not down.
The reposition.
And Ruxic right behind them. Oh my lord, he's only going to get one for now.
The players trying to escape up ramp, they're not going to get a chance.
It's a 2-on-2, and Ruxic has taken it to their advantage now.
Ruxic is insane.
13-11.
Holy shit.
And so
That was
with
such
that,
a good
there's more
play.
to be played.
Oh my.
Head into overtime, I'll be completely
so
honest.
close.
KC swing a punch and completely miss.
man.
Fall over their own
Oh
feet.
man.
I feel as if that should have went to overtime. I just don't know how it didn't.
Oh, and with the next map being Ascent as well, I'm sure the desk will go into detail, but both teams for Navi, they haven't showed it. For KC, they're shuffling the deck. It's anybody's game. We'll see who takes it all home.
This guy's not present again.
My right clicks, baby, the burst. How many? 2? Enough. You might get it again. No, no one giving it to Angel. Angel taking it by himself.
It took a while, but I got him.
Bro, it was hard.
Angel's love is so old, but I love it. Okay, chill. It's gonna be like a long timeout again now. Okay. What do we do in the meantime? GeoGuessr. Let's go. Single player campaign. Wait, not campaign. What am I doing? Classic maps. Famous places is hard apparently. That's bullshit. Famous places is like the easiest now. Last Platz. Great. I was about to say how easy it is. Oh. Slottsbacken. This looks like Sweden. Reiseveld. This is German. Is it not? Help. Oh, and now the bus disappeared. Great. Oh, taxi. Stockholm. Ah, I knew it was Sweden after all. You see, game too easy for me. Where is Old Town or something? Should be some here. Slotted, didn't I see that? Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that word. Easy. Okay, what the fudge? Hello? Where am I, please? What is this? This is just one island? And you cannot move at all? Oh, this guy has been... Oh? Hello? Please tell me where I am. Oh my god, this camera is so bad. I want to read that green sign over here. Fudge. No. Dude, where is this? Is this like New Zealand or something? What? Oh. Ah, great. Dude, I've never seen a place like this before. Wait. That might be New Zealand. Wait, so we're on the western point. This might be like this, no? There's a lighthouse. Garo, old lighthouse. It might be an old lighthouse. Hold on. Oh shit. It's Ireland, okay. Yeah. Well, oh. Which side are we on? Going southeast, so we're not on the northeast side, like there. I'm still 60 meters off. It's fine. Okay, this is another one that I'm not gonna get because there's just nothing to go off. Wait. Oh, never mind. 2020 Google. It's Great Britain flag, no? Where the hell? Should I know this place? I probably should. Wait a second. Get me back there. Nope. I thought for 1 second it's Vienna, but I am not sure at all. Can I go down there? Yeah, I can. Let's go. Let's go exploring, boys. No, wait. Is this... No, there's no way this is Vienna, right? Nah. Nope. This is definitely not Vienna. Where the hell am I? This is Britain or something? London? Greenwich? What? What the hell? Oh, what is this bus? This looks... Ring. Okay, there's a lot of Teslas. It's European, but there's a lot of Teslas, and it looks like Germany. Wait. Wiegeland Sparten. Okay, that's not German. What else can I see here? Is there some buses? Yeah. Sightseeing. Where? Do you not want to tell me where you're sightseeing at? Free Wi-Fi. Hop on A5. Brother. Oh wait, this... Does it have multiple flags on it? No, it doesn't. It's Norway then. Oslo. Do you guys have something in... Oh wait. Der Kongle slot. No, slot is... wait, this might be it. No, it doesn't look like it. Damn. Damn. Well, who knows? What other cities is there in Norway? Bergen. What do you guys have? There's a water. Nope, this is not it either. This might be it. Solheim Ferdinand. Nah, I don't know. Might not even be Norway, to be fair. Oh, it is Norway, damn it. Okay. Oh, is this just... Oh, where the hell is that waterfall at? Oh, no. Is it Chile? Los Andreas. Andes. Okay. I have no idea where to look at. Oh wait, this is... Nope. It's Angel Waterfalls or however it's called. But I have no idea in which country they are. Damn. It's not Argentina. I don't feel like it's Argentina. It should be Chile. But like it's so huge. Reserva Nacional. It should be in the south side though, like here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No. Man. Are these cities? No. There's just random names over here. Nacional Laguna del Laja. Isn't it here? No. Bro, how? Where? Why do I not know this? Oh my. There's no way it's that much south, no? Oh, we're still in half of Argentina. Oh my god, Chile. Why is Chile so big? Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Just gonna do it here. Oh, what? Is it Salto Angel? Wait. Oh, it is Venezuela. I did not know that. Oh wow. Venezuela. Okay. Interesting. Oops. We don't need that. 1780. Meh. How much do I need for the full Möbelix? Okay. Please. Košice. There we go. Košice. Where is metro? Jim Beam. Omve. Oh man. Decathlon race shop. Oh, race shop. I actually get some parts from this. Asco. Wait, it's a northeast to southwest. Northeast to northeast to southwest. Where is a northeast to southwest? Northeast should be this one, no? Nope. Mega auto. Yeah, for fuck's sake, damn. There's a lot of railways, I didn't know that. Babitku. Okay, it's just somewhere over here. Oh, it was right here. I'm actually not that far off. Okay. What the hell is this? What? Where am I? What is this? Where? I have so many questions. Isn't this a big highway? No, that was a bigger street, no? Why is this town so big? Why is it so big? Why is there nothing here? Damn. Wow, this is very big. I don't see anything on the houses either that I could be using. Can I reset, please? I don't want to guess this location. Finally. Oh, the box. All okay. Oh. Podhaj, Podhaj. What is Podhaj? What is Podhaj? Should be like here. Nope. Are they playing yet? Oh, they are gonna do.
In the moment, just literally figuring out what he wants to do. And sometimes it works beautifully, sometimes it doesn't. So hopefully for him today, it's going to work beautifully.
It's going to have to work beautifully if Na'Vi want to move to the next round, because there will be no second chances in this series. Hazard and Karo, the loser, will be eliminated from playoffs.
Both of these teams, so much riding on this game to set up whether their stage so far feels like a success or a failure, because we've seen improvements in some ways, drop-offs in others, and now heading on towards Ascent. I want to speak about Na'Vi here quickly,
this is so
because
big.
Last year they played Ascent 8 times. We felt like coming in, picking up such a capable offer like Koala Noob, that we would be seeing this from them a whole lot more, but we haven't. And in terms of those results, lost 4 and then won 4, it's always been about consistency, and it's that conversation that comes up yet again.
The stakes could never be higher, and for Na'Vi, when you look at their composition, this is exactly what they ran on M80. When we look at Koala Noob on the Euro, the only difference being in that composition, they've subbed out the Sova for the Tejo. So let's see if that's going to find some value as we move into map 1 of the last map of this elimination series.
But it's Koala Noob that draws first blood. Na'Vi in front on the attack side, or collected. As KC have gone back to this default style. It's through mid that they'll look to try and funnel the players, but Koala Noob again delivers a bullet to the brain of Elite. This time he'll walk away with 2, but still the numbers Na'Vi.
That's 5
dropped. You've got to be looking at Rooksik, who now becomes the Joker. In fact, they're going to open the door back up to let him back in, but both players are already out.
Is he gonna ace?
There's a mesh set up,
Yo,
so
chill.
Na'Vi looking to try and take this fight. It's a TP back towards main for Koala. Rooksik finding the kill. Koala looking to add the final details, but it's Rooksik that ends up with both. Another attack side pistol for Na'Vi. By my count, that's now 5 in a row.
Yeah, and not only that, you can already see the comfortability on Koala within this comp, on the Euro. That's what you should expect when you're running a composition of agents, but he knows how to work.
And even from the double sentinel here, which has touched on just a little bit, is that we've seen other teams in the region go for it, right? We know that Apex tried it, other teams in the region go for it, right? We know that we've seen other teams. For me, you're just looking at those combos as well with the Tejo and how that net and salvos are going to be paired up.
That's the thing. Something everyone always highlights with this comp, that KC are running the Hero. He could get caught here.
I think he'll be all right. Oh. Without his cage, but yeah. Hitting the tag. Swings and roundabouts, mate. They are off to A.
Yeah, they've seen plenty of bodies here. The correct decision is to be as quick as possible in hitting A, but KC could be quick in cutting off rotations. They missed their opportunity.
Oh, are they gonna clear,
now
man?
We look at Aves.
Biding his time towards
this
the
guy has to get 1-0.
I think it would have been good.
He didn't.
Turned head for
give
Koala
the
Noob,
rifle to Hero, I would say.
No problem.
A little bit of a headache, paracetamol, maybe.
FPX. Dude, Angel is so old. Why am I always saying
from this
that?
position,
And they're just gonna try to spike. How lame.
The history in terms of how they manage money. We're talking about another Na'Vi bonus and the potential of it to create a snowball. We know that they had such a strong start to split. They built up a number of rounds, 93. That's gonna, gonna pick up at least 1 kill there onto Elite. But no, it's just safeguarded the round instead. And to carry on what I was going to say, is that, yeah, I don't think they're going to be losing anything here at all.
Yeah, but I just want to go back to my point that I'd started at the start of the round, right? about how NAVI, in terms of the composition they're playing against, will have plenty of opportunity to get practice against this, right? The default comp, the one that we tend to expect, or used to expect on Ascent, now that double Sentinel's starting to make its reappearance and find its way in the meta. Yeah, you're looking at NAVI, they should know exactly how to move around the map, know exactly how to gain reactions, and I mean the decision making should be easy for Angel.
Okay, now huge round coming up. KC still not buying Outlaw.
At the B spawn barrier.
5 players with small shields though.
Just a shock that he fires in. Very committed position, but the Cajun support are dropping
Don't
the
shoot.
recon behind it.
Oh, okay, shoot.
For a little bit more, but all it ends with is damage and tears.
Yeah, but remember, 3 players of KC are here and ready
Oh,
to
what what was that walk
It's
out?
Martin. Spike dropped, and Angel trying to recollect. The spike gives himself up. Navi, I mean, it's just been fallen to the wayside here. It looks like KC will have the response. Is that Navi cost once again on the bonus?
This hero can do something about it. First couple shots clean onto Martin. But KC have restored order in the rifle, as you'd expect.
Criminal.
Again, though, I don't want to be the hater, right? But like, how many times?
How do you walk out like that, dude?
But like, how many times are we going to see Navi not win a bonus round when they have that buy? Like, they set themselves up perfectly every time, as you should expect from the architects of the FPX buy, right? But like, the next round, the bonus round is always so underwhelming and it's frustrating.
I think they're KC just given the time to react here. They want to be proactive instead. Martin into the fire and flames beyond this smoke is their support. It comes in the form of Aves, but it's just not enough, not long lasting. Navi immediately respond.
That was
what a way to respond to any criticism that had levied against them. Very well navigated by Navi.
It was like a 15-second round or something.
It's all in the name. But I have to say, that's a situation where it's like, okay, is that repeatable? Yeah, probably not, because KC have just brought the fight straight to them. The question will be, is there more of the same? Is that something that this defense wants to try? Because when you talk about strat books, and Ascent being in quite a healthy meta right now, I think all things considered, everyone knows what the strats are. You've seen that play a million times before.
Yes, 100%. I mean, went back to Vision Strikers, as it's been called many a time. Not even in Valorant any longer. So Getsu, is he going to be in this round? As he tries to escape, Martin buys him out there.
Those players might not be heading to Toronto, but I'll tell you who is. Track by track, one step at a time. Navi, not the ones that are putting a foot in front of each other too well here. It's a couple of missteps. Now trying to force the issue on B, but the setup is there. KC do well just to trade out an elite buying time from backside. Shao again. It's top draw, and with the spike down, there's still a chance between him and Hero. These are the players you want.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've got Sentinel utility to work with here as well, so Navi in prime position in post.
Don't ult. Don't ult.
Shao to set up Hero. Oh, it's blocked him a little bit from the initial entry, but he fans out behind it, and KC are caught with a blind eye, but still Hero can't do anything but damage. And Shao capitalized from it. Sitting inside the smoke, the spike not shown, but as it evaporates from his vision, there you have it. KC effective in the way that they played off of one another to set up this second.
The big thing for Navi in this round,
Angel should not have gone first there,
to Split, is when they get into post, if they have majority of their members up, it should be as strong
this one was
as possible.
like, okay,
it should
he
be
gets
almost
one, but
impossible
that
for
one on
KC
Angel
to get back into sight. Understandably, there was only two players alive there towards the end, but that's a win condition for Navi. And when they move on to defense,
million times I was saying that.
What was saying
a million times?
On the defense, we're expecting them to do better, right?
So gets
so
a 6
it's about
assists.
How many rounds can you get on the attack, Navi?
And I mean, how prepared are KC going to be when push comes to shove? What does the execution look like?
Wait, they're fighting mid again?
By KC here.
Tempered approach. After the first 15 seconds, they pull the pin, the play is made, but that redistribution of the defense is towards the B site where the spike is yet to cross. Sadak in play, sprays away, two kills.
How can they never
right behind
capitalize?
it. The rest of KC there, reactive at the best of times, but the support, it's flowing through when needed. Koala was the first player in and looks like the last one out.
This is Koala's map though. I think he can do this.
I mean, I'm not sure if I follow along. I mean, you hype a guy up, there was always a chance, but you're asking too much. When KC look as well drilled as they do in situations like that, it's where Na'Vi are not quite reaching those expectations.
How? What are you guys doing? There's no flash. There's nothing.
The one chance, right? The Doctor Strange scenario, but at the same time,
it just looks bad. The executions just look bad from Na'Vi.
So many times that we've seen a player have their moment. I mean, right now, I think the most telling thing about the scoreboard, and you won't see it as we're in the timeout for Na'Vi, is that Sugetsu is, well, actually, there's quite a lot to talk about. Sugetsu has 10 assists, firstly, 10 assists inside 6 rounds, so that tells you all you need to know in terms of Na'Vi pushing through these smokes.
Yeah,
and secondly, actually looking at the kill distribution, pretty much everyone has at least 3 kills, and like 3 or 4 deaths. KC are just very efficient, very tightly knit, and doing a fantastic job.
And I think as well, when we look at what the utility Na'Vi have, they don't have any like really great utility to break out the smoke. Sure, you've got Koala Noob's flashes, but in that last round, he's on his ultimate, right? He's not really going to be able to set up his team perfectly. And if you have one player playing anti-flash, then it's very easy to destroy the push.
KC starting to come up on some ults here. Na'Vi not as close.
And there's only one tail drone, you have nothing else.
Those numbers look right now for KC. It's like the shoal of fish from Finding Nemo. They're all pointing in the direction of another playoff game.
I will find them.
There's still so much work to be done, and any round you let Na'Vi pick up here just makes that defense even more terrifying.
Speak of Nemo, just need to keep on swimming round by round.
That was Dory, mate.
Yeah, but it's in the Finding Nemo movie.
Very true.
Give it peace.
I've been told that I look like the Dory voice actor a few times. Oh man. Shenanigans aside, see if
they're walking into a vest here.
Na'Vi can course correct on this eco, and well, Angel's open it up.
No,
a first kill for him. And it's the A-site onslaught with Hero slipping in between the lines beyond the barrier mesh. It's another kill.
Oh wow, Angel with another one.
Or does Martin have something to say? He's silenced. That's the lead. And Na'Vi find themselves in front on this attack again.
Angel showed up.
Do you know what? That's just absolutely insane.
Okay, Angel's not fragging for the
mismanagement of the round and the mistakes that we see. I mean, I know we were all seeing Sideshow crash out earlier, but he'll be crashing out of that one. I mean, what is happening there?
Oh wow, beautiful. Oh wow.
I think there's something about a trap.
There was a hole under your wall. I just went under it and went got killed too.
Even so, not sure how expectant of that KC were, but hosted more success. Na'Vi have this annihilation to work with. 3 ults on the other side, and looking at player positions right now, Sui has a lot of work to do. Potentially going to reposition Wine, but holding the one-way for now. But if he bails, it's only others here to support. Still that ult to bank on.
I mean, this split is perfect.
The group up short. They're going to break one of the arms of this push.
I don't think they are. Look, they're split up once again.
B.
This is a set take, set exit. They're waiting for the utility to come up, and the players send it in.
Yeah, and
what is happening right now?
So it's all on Sugetsu
it's a
to
stall.
stand his ground. Sadak in support. Koala furthest player forward. Revealed TPL just about hanging on. KC fighting through into short, but they can't survive. Na'Vi batter back. 5 rounds expected unless Sadak can save the day.
Dude, they're just running in
Maybe
there.
get a Vez back up, but
Like,
instead broke the door. So this is
I
just
don't
a
have
way,
the
and they know exactly where the Sova
comprehension
is.
to comprehend. Wait, what's the
Cage
comprehension?
hasn't
To,
caught.
oh
They know now
no!
the info.
Oh.
Stunned, revealed, everything on a very long list of troubles which continues to grow as Na'Vi have doubled their advantage coming into a round where they're expected to keep on moving forwards.
Very nice utility at the end. I mean, just the way that they execute, and you can tell that it's set, not just from the fact that the players have were waiting for the utility to come up, but the fact that it hits every single part. And now you look at
Again,
the buy,
winning an attack on,
you look at what
this
KC bring
defender
forward.
side.
A Vez with just a hero rifle and Sadak with a
So he gets
bucket.
with 12 assists.
In terms of those player positions, it's this Vision Striker move that we were talking about earlier. Hero getting one. Reveal not on the player, but
nice,
the
good
fake
thing
out.
they didn't go in.
Still Bucky in hand of Sadak as he sidesteps the shots.
Sidesteps.
The shock looking for further
Koala should have
damage.
just TP'd inside.
Look at Martin here, and the space that he's found.
Wait.
Navi are walking right into this. Oh no!
Wait.
Grand Tour, Martin. Step into the show floor, first kill picked up. Flash through.
Wow.
Oh, two would have been great. But with Ruxic removing him, it's straight to the boathouse he goes.
Love this, taking the space nice and early. KC though are very quick on the mark.
They expect the site player from the
Yeah, they
TP,
do.
but still can't deal with him. In front of the line, Sugetsu was looking for
Oh,
the
they're
spike.
going A.
Where are Navi going? They're gonna reroute this just because they don't want to deal with that one defender.
Ah, help
Faking
me.
mid pressure. Sugetsu's still solo.
He just got a chance to deny the spike.
He's so far ahead of this.
Oh,
Sugetsu gets 2 kills. Ruxic
Wait,
last
how does
player
Angel
left, and
not
it's just
get him?
fallen apart for Navi.
Oh, wow.
At least step it
Yeah,
in
no
to
guys,
just shear away
hello?
another. It's a pace safeguard Thrifty. And
That's
no,
not how it
no
should
rest
work.
for Navi at all.
Koala should just TP
No rest for the
backside and he has
Wickeds, no
every
rest for Valorant
thing.
watchers because what
For
just
the-
happened, mate? A pace safeguard Thrifty and KC, even after winning that round, are going to call a time.
Sublime from Sui. Whatever it is you want to say about this round, KC took the onus on themselves to go for that B play, to fight tiles from both lanes, to keep it constricted. Hero goes down, Sui able to follow it up with that second kill.
Sui.
And now off the timeout, they feel the wind at their backs, money in their pockets, but there is an issue.
And I think, well, for me, the issue is that contingency that they need to have against Navi's ultimates.
Why is he
right?
pressing
Because
the buttons on
these
his
last couple of
keyboard?
rounds, they are nowhere near.
Is he texting them or
what
something?
Navi have. And well, Navi, they have the Armageddon, they have the Annihilation. You're looking at the dimensional drift 2 off of Koala Noob. So if Navi use their ultimates effectively, they'll find themselves in a pretty good position. But these are all if, buts and maybes.
And we know that you do absolute.
Exactly. But
Something I can say for certain though is that Navi strat book, this is a test of it. How much have you put into this ascent, which we've seen floated as a decider in the last few series for them, where you know, you look at this map for the team in general, it has been okay in the past, but it's 7 successive losses now, all the way back to week 1, stage 1 last year. To come up in playoffs would be everything, but Sugetsu has been spotted.
Wait, this is a more team
Ruxic
play.
knows his tricks
Why did
too well. That
Sugetsu make
TP
that
won't
play?
be catching him off guard anytime soon.
I really like that by Navi to make sure that Wine can't be taken by KC. They've also
And they're playing double
foisted
sentinel.
a trap outside
So
of B,
Navi are
just
just
to make sure that we're
betting
not
on
going to get the same sort of flank
getting a
that
few
Martin
rounds
was
on
able to do
attack
last time
and
out.
then just defending their asses off. Which is working.
Position
And it will
towards
work
B
because
for Navi.
they're just 4 and
This
5
attack
right now.
side,
Big info.
as you say, the difference is they would have had numbers, but it's
Oh
the
wait.
recon in front of the utility, and they go back to the stack. Hero still here. Neural Theft dropped in. What do they do with this info?
I mean, they've only found Decipher, and look at the reposition off the back of it. I thought they were going to run to B because only one player was found, but Navi's slow roll out, and Navez is only able to
Angel?
get one elite though. finding his chance, but he's already taken so much damage.
Nice.
It's easy for Koala to finish out. Martin getting one of his own. 2v2,
Oh, wow.
tries to deny the spike,
Overheated so
but to be
much.
advised.
What was Sadak doing? What was Sadak doing? Ooh, let me just check it out. Like,
NAVI
what?
already at the very least guaranteeing that this half breaks even. And you're still thinking in the back of your mind, what does it look like out of the opening 12? How much more is there left in the tank? Does this double sentinel have legs? And right now, in terms of the rounds as they're being played, just
ambitious.
looking for KC to make their move first, because this has been a very proactive version of a style we've seen so many times before, even by those standards.
Well, one of the ultimates was used. It was only the neuro theft, and
he just
found
dodged
massive
in real
value.
life. He was
Now
like,
you look at the rest available, and they can usually
where
get
did that shot go?
even better chances at being used. Now, looks to be another B split. Martin.
Wait, Martin is already here?
Already had
Oh,
one
wow.
go, and the next bite of the
Oh,
cherry
no,
is just
Angel.
as sweet. Elite following it up.
Oh
4v3
no,
situation.
Angel.
And Casey offered the
Angel,
reset.
what doing?
Leads up, ready to go.
What doing?
So that
Oh no.
rotation is even
And they're
quicker.
reading
Reads
that they're going,
perfect.
oh
Three
no.
players in short.
Oh,
Navi
no.
walking up
Oh
and into
no.
trouble, into the face of danger. Casey coming back in
Oh wow.
and doing
There was
it
that was
fashion.
bad. Casey
The
just
support
instantly
was
read
there,
them.
making the
They-
right
they
calls
read that they're gonna
mid-round.
go
A
three.
little bit of individual brilliance, but the team still
what is this
performing
angle?
together.
It's not even that, right? I can't wait for it to come back up on the replay. But Martin's split-second decision-making, not to go for the fake-out, but to go for the Euro that was swinging him. And then on top of that, like that, just nice little cherry on top.
He's like, coming from a Euro player, I know which is which. That's second sense.
Yeah. The last round, we've been highlighting it many a times for the past couple.
Koala
The
Vandal
ultimates to
going
be
on.
used.
So many ults. Everything but the kitchen sink thrown at this. Koala's just looking for a target to send that deadlock ult in. Spotted in tower. Martin gets
One
out.
draft, okay.
But I have to say, with all of this Sentinel util now in post, Casey have to go quickly.
Yeah, they
Oh,
need to be
wow, he just
careful. Not
spammed
only
Shadow.
that, if they do go quickly, there's ultimates to deny, and well, first one in, still not got the Armageddon
Oh, wow,
used
Angel.
either, but it might not be
Wow,
needed at all.
beautiful.
It isn't. NAVI move into the next
Holy
half
crap.
with an advantage.
You're seeing the value from the utility there, and while it's late on the half, it's late in the evening and Navi have their advantage. They
Wow.
lead coming into the final half of play in this
Decider
EMEA
match.
elimination
It's
match.
elimination
Casey
match.
trying to fly that French
Who's
flag
gonna
through
stay?
the lower
Oh
bracket,
wow.
but it's a
Oh.
long way away now.
Hey, Angel headshotting with the Deagle. I think he has more kills with the Deagle than with an Alliance.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Don't know where to da. Thinking that they'll be a day, will be a day again. Why am I playing with time? Seeking away. Why am I in such a shithole? Oh my days. Stránské medvědě. What the frick? What? Magnezitovci to čůvatek. Oh, that's... Where the hell am I? Did I just go into another village or like what? Bro, the only thing I know that there's freaking hills. And how long is this? What the hell? Wait, I think I know where I am. Where is this one? What the hell? Wait, Jumbeer, no, Hopok, yeah. And then you have like these cities down here. And. Isn't it here? No! Wait, I've been here! I know where it is! Hold on. Where? Wait. Podai. Yeah. I've been spawned somewhere here. Yeah, there we go! I'm epic. Wait, it was halftime. Oh shit, I forgot. What happened? Martinez then looked ready.
Lost. You don't have any of that gap close anymore. In terms of getting to site,
they were
still hanging around in middle.
And they're just playing retake on B.
happy to play this way because they've got a cam up on B, and all that means is that they don't need to worry about the entire left-hand side. They just group up and wait for the execution.
Still 50 seconds
Look at Shao,
left.
right? He's playing as the rotate player, just in enough vicinity to use the utility that he has if it's needed. This is not going to be B. This is going back towards A short. That's what I thought. As the spike makes its way through mid.
Yeah, I think all of this right now is to try and drag a player over, create some pressure, force NAVI to redistribute the forces, and there you have it. That's the response. KC get the reaction they were looking for, sure, but still, Ruxic hangs around. Sheriff at his side, and Hero in support from Dice backside. The smoke now drops in the front, looking for the fight. It's Ruxic that has the first. Time is of the essence. There isn't enough of it. Hero still hanging around. It's a quad kill that keeps NAVI going in the second half of play. He's had a massive series, time and time again, coming up with the clutch, and in this last, most pivotal half of the series, he comes up and wins the pistol round. It might only just be one round, but it's a massive one to get started. Also comes through the support of Ruxic as well. Let's go! Tunnel of smokes to just path his way to the planter.
And this guy just
wondering if that hat was going to go flying off Saish's head again, but for now KC's still in this, but that pistol
full classics
does put them at odds of this defense, as we said.
Wow, that cam is nice.
Yeah, it's so important for both sides. Most importantly, this Masters for NAVI because of Koala Noob. He's Canadian, he wants to be in Toronto.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot that.
On home soil,
what the Angel, chill.
The vibes of this team, keeping the energy up, emotion cited by Sadak on the other side.
They will A, but they're going
KC's
in
heads
now.
at right now. A round like this, it's just got to be picking up orbs. And it is the skipper who has already done so. 4 away from the ult.
The skipper?
To find his 5th ult point.
Who is the skipper, bro?
Main on A. It's
Who do they call the skipper?
Koala,
is it Hero?
Trying to be the man dragging his team to Toronto. The rest
wow,
of the supporting
Shao,
cast
what
helping him out in doing so. The last two of Martin and Elite try and make something on towards A. Sonic sensors and Sentinel utility to try and get through.
In. They're in.
Players in place.
Just
to set this one up, KC looking for any kind of out, but every route they walk into is met with trouble. A player picked up by Martin, but that was one of the pistols. KC need to do a little bit more here if it's to make any kind of damage on what will be another Na'Vi strong bonus that's set up.
Wait, why do I not see
be the time to finally win out your bonus? Send you towards double digits. Chasm between the two teams at the minute, which KC need to try and cross through.
Man, of course my gold Angel dies. Get the serve, get
this round is absolutely huge and potentially netting Angel his first ever win over Sadak. In terms of the call for this round,
interesting.
Grouped up with long-standing teammate Shao,
Angel
the combo
first
of
in.
Util dumped towards tiles, but no
What
result.
is he shooting? What is bro shooting at?
NAVI is sticking to the strengths of
he was
this
shooting
comp.
the cam.
Don't need to fight mid.
Wait.
Mid.
Okay, there we go.
Just re-clear it with the drone instead.
Exactly. Although Martin
Oh wow, I hate this spot. I hate that
to TP
spot.
all the way back, and it's going to be jump spot in mid.
Like this placement of the sensor as well.
Is this
from
a
Angel.
trap?
It's forced Sadak to just face check it, and with that now broken, all picked up, it's further information towards Navi as to what exactly is going on in this round.
But see the thing, KC think that that's where the Cypher is because of the last round. That's Deadlock was on A. They've switched up their Sentinels, and KC could be executing into their own doom.
It's another utility investment though in the
Oh
meantime.
wow, look at that
Barrier
8.
mesh has been dropped in towards B main, but that's not before both the salvos and the net had been placed as well.
Yeah, they
Still
should know
A
now.
under threat, and the traps are here. Oh, Hero's been suppressed though.
It's massive. He managed to get a cage off, so hasn't been identified by the info dart. And guess one of his own, Koala's here to try and get some support, but Martin continues on.
Wait, this guy's
His
still
reign of
backside?
terror.
And Roxic's still hanging around in main. They had to clear him or
main,
plant
yeah.
the spike. Less than 10 seconds once this comes in.
This is going to be close, but didn't account for Elite. Dead Angel, 2v2
Oh,
post
huge kill.
When Navi looks to come out the other
Huge
side, the
kill.
better. Elite from short has to try and fight his way through. Doesn't even get a cam.
Oh,
it's just going to be a
wow.
defuse.
Wow.
And what a way to finally convert a bonus round, Navi.
Wow.
When they
Holy
needed it.
shit.
And those players
Oh my
standing
God.
tall on the A site again. Hero
was
gets his
beautiful
one.
play.
And Ruxic just hangs on. The amount of sustain he has from these smokes.
Yeah, these smokes
it's
are
such
insane.
fundamental play, but executed correctly. Martin with one, you know, everyone on
Yo, what the
KC
fuck?
doing a little bit of something, but
that
still,
that movement is
Navi,
insane.
the
And
all-important
this guy
round
is
result.
And I think as well, this could perhaps be the quickest that
Timeout
we have seen a
KC.
timeout used since the start of a half. Carmine Core, the ones to do it, because they are on the edge of elimination. Resuscitation needed by the support staff.
If Navi play well, they deserve this spot.
Saish that steps up right now,
And
it
they played
seems.
well today.
Given
But not just today,
opportunities
they have
to call for the team. I
perform.
mean, think back to kickoff a couple years ago now when Eng gave him that experience. You've got to be relying on the players that feel like they can make the right call right now, whoever that is, assistant coach, head coach, anyone in the server who feels like they have the read on what Navi are setting up for.
And I think as well, right, we spoke about how important it is for Navi and Kuala Noob to finally get towards a Masters event, especially in Toronto, where Kuala Noob, I mean, he is Canadian, but for KC, their eyes should be on Paris. They need to get these champions points. And if they lose here, it's a massive chance to win a series out. Gone.
Absolutely.
The only French team in the league, and they're not gonna go to Paris. That would be
Sadak and the rest
not ideal. Spam it! Yes!
Someone who, as we mentioned before, has brought on teams out of bad situations. You look at Loud, mentoring some of that younger talent. The question always being, could he do it without Aspas?
Wait,
Madrid,
Angel?
a sufficeable answer, I think.
Angel?
Martin's been doing brilliantly on the
Angel,
jet.
what are you doing?
Now he has support behind him. Only Angel here, but getting out of dodge with his own util, and Navi very quickly retaliating.
Yeah, and they've got so much stall potential with what they
Now
have.
it's going B,
So
and there's
KC
3
decide to
stacked
look
B.
elsewhere, but
Yo.
Koala's ready.
Navi playing a different game today.
I
They
think they're
just
actually thinking about moving
their
into
set
main.
looks
This
really
is huge
good.
isolation. It is only Sugetsu here, but his Sheriff now has to have a bigger moment than it has done previously. Asking a bit too much.
Still, Koala Noob has moved in towards
Yeah,
B
Koala
main.
has
As
everything of
KC
B.
find a little spot and market to work with. This is just a bait on A.
Navi are so happy to give this space away at the same time.
They're
They have
holding
control
everything by
on
not
either
holding
side of the
nothing.
map.
It's
The
insane.
mains, more importantly, Angel and Koala, as you say.
And
Now
Hero
looking
with
at
these
the
smokes,
Canadian,
dude.
feels as if he has his time to strike beyond the cage. At least one kill, but that's the spike. At the back of the pack, it goes down.
10 seconds left.
Oh, and Martin.
And so Navi
Hello.
up to an 11.
Hello, Martin.
Casey, you know, in some of these eco rounds, just really haven't felt all that
Oh, don't kill
threatening.
Angel. Don't
There's so
kill
much
my goat,
control,
please.
but it's not even necessarily coming from the Sentinel players. The setup's on site.
Yeah, it's the setups on site, but again, it's also how comfortable and the understanding that the full NAVI roster has in terms of they know when they can move into mains, they know when there's a step too far, and I don't think they've necessarily put a foot wrong since they've moved on to the defense. Well, we know that because they won every round on the second half.
5-11 though. Wait, last
This is the most important
KC
of the
came
lot, though,
back
Cairo.
from 11
Win here, it's 12,
to
and very well,
3
series
or
taken.
something like that.
That bye won't look great either
Oh,
for KC
wow.
if they lose this.
Very early
Gorgeous
knife though,
defense.
important just to detail that Angel has been spotted towards short. So from what KC have collected info already, is there a possible way they can see what the setup is? This is something we haven't seen before though. Cam contact for a Koala flash, it's an elite lurk. He is solo in this endeavor.
Big 1 versus 1 that could potentially be won out. The poke and prod on the A side has been won out by NAVI because they've got the A main space.
Oh, he heard that. He heard that. He knows he's close.
Step into this, but
The smoke, the flash is too wide.
Creep closer towards the B site. It's a drone to round the corner, it's broken, and this is the play. Koala taking it into his own hands, just
Oh,
one.
that's the first blood.
That's all
what
it's
the
going to be, but the setup
Yo.
from the Cypher
Yo,
was good.
what?
Can't capitalise, and now
Wait,
his hero on the
hero
back
again?
side.
Ew.
He's been spammed out, they know where he is, because he responded to the
God,
bullet
that's so
sent his
annoying.
way. And now we go into a 2 versus 4.
Oh.
Ruxic trying to take a timing,
1v4
but well
Angel.
noted.
Come
and
on.
now it's up to the
My
captain.
boy. He has to go for this. They have money.
Like
All of them
Angel's
have
going
money.
to be coming up with the goods here, though. KC,
Why?
slow approach, all circling back to his position at the start of the round.
Zip, 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 zip. Give him something.
And that's how you have to play some of these defaults. I mean,
Is he gonna save?
I don't think really they've been known for this kind of style in the past, but it's the one that you're forced to play against this NAVI side right now.
Especially when you have to find out where the Sentinel utility is, right?
Oh.
They don't have to challenge for that space. They win it outright. As do KC this
That-
time.
that
4
was a
players left
one-shot.
standing. That's round number 6. Number 6.
Stick.
Still
Round
5
number 6.
more though to close the gap up entirely.
They got a
They
first
showed
blood
us
and
they
they
were
lose that.
capable of doing it before, but when it got to 9-9 on split,
That outdraft by
was all
Martin
Navi.
actually saved that round. Okay, what was that?
I think for KC, they found a way to win out, right? But I also feel as if there was some mistakes from NAVI there. They had a
Yeah.
good read on what they wanted to do. Koala unlucky
But
not to get
challenges
to and get traded out. We will look towards A
whiffed.
main in
That's
this
what I
fight
wanted to
once
say.
again.
Angel here. Expressed this
Oh, what the
time,
hell?
but a miss sensor is a very quickly recollected one. Navi on the offensive, 2 players to come in from short, but there is support
Oh,
from
what?
middle. It's Koala Noob just
was insane.
facing by himself, and while Net's going to come in there, the salvos, do they arrive in time? No, Martin dashes right out.
It's going to be a big duel in mid.
Oh wow, they know.
Most importantly towards the arch. Ruxic TP into the other side. The spam coming through, but they can't quite find him. He's taking his time.
Yo.
And can't quite find the value.
Help me!
Never evasive, but look at Ruxic.
He's going
He wants to
in.
keep on going.
Oh wow.
Just the 1 kill.
No,
that he
Angel,
picks up.
don't.
Navi still putting their foot down.
Yay.
50 seconds or less. KC need to make a move, and in terms of space taken and utility dealt with, there
Yo, this
is
is
not much at all.
nerve-wracking.
This is big.
Ava's just going to rip the ult. It's a hit and hope, so to B they go.
Yeah, but you see that. It takes all the Sentinel utility offline, and Hero's here by himself. He has no support.
Left.
Still creeping closer to the site, taking their time. Hero to take that
wow,
first final to
Hero.
Elite, and that
Util up.
really opens things up. Util
Oh,
back
wow,
in.
he
Hero
gets
has
2.
his second.
Oh,
2 on 2,
shit.
but it drops to Angel. This one feeling a lot more likely.
And has the grav net. One off his ulti.
Can stop the swing from at least one of those players, and it's Sugetsu dead in his tracks. To the corner, he will remain. Peeking back through though, Aves by his side. 7 for KC, they survive.
I always feel as if 7-11 is a really defining scoreline for a comeback. It's one where it's
That was the
totally
last
within
shot.
touching distance, and especially when you look
Right
at
here, I would have just
economy,
waited for the
ultimates
other
there.
guy to go in.
It's another
But-
time where Martin just goes flying
Let's
round the
go.
corner, jumping in.
Round by round.
But as we do go round by round, you've got to make those decisions. It is getting pretty stressful, and so NAVI are heading into a timeout of their own. But it's, you know,
up on map 2. It could have just been a 2-0 KC, but now that NAVI put us into map 3, I want KC to just also win now.
Wait, what?
Of the coaches from
this could have been over 2-0.
Derek and Angel need to be stopped. He already sent me them.
It's all about who can call on the fly, who's going to be better in these scenarios for however many rounds that have left in this series. I have to remember, I have to remind everyone of the stakes. Whoever loses
what was
this
it, like
is out.
5-11 or something? 4-11, 5-11,
but without a
know.
single win in the playoff stage either, which feels so different to at least maybe picking up one win and going up against some formidable opponents that we still have left in the bracket. Let me reiterate, it's 3 wins to take you to that top 3 from this position. NAVI coming into the next round with plenty of odds.
It's, oh my,
but the one that I'm
the
looking at, the
elimination
player I'm
factor
looking
of
at
this
still
game
for
is a little
KC
bit,
remains to be Martin. He headed into this
spicy.
series second globally for KD, just shy of 1.4. But it's the space making more than anything else, which is the biggest asset to KC right now against this NAVI defense.
Playing with the pace,
what the
starting off fast, making NAVI sweat. Didn't get much utility out the other side of it.
There's a drone towards
You're
mid.
going to get the drone to check mid.
He saw 2, maybe even 3 though.
KC's so slow.
Yeah, this is...
Just
you can count the seconds of this round. Yeah, Angel is just playing for info.
Has both the sensors and the traps, the Cypher, the deadlock.
Oh, they heard Angel.
One of them now through the owl drone.
No,
but we've seen KC pressure market before though. It's just been a means to an end. They've not often executed. And you can see with the position here of Sugetsu still hanging around in A
it's
main,
gonna
there's definitely a view
fake, I feel
to
like.
take this one back into the stack.
I mean, at the same time, Koalanu brings out Dimensional Drift, looking to clear out and find out where players are, and well, they're going to head towards A, and this is where the utility is.
As I said, just raising that question mark in middle, but now you're heading into the utility. It's the Hunter's Fury to try and gut out some of that space in the back. Ruxit gets hit and Sugetsu follows it up cleanly. Koala's still here, and he's found his first. The salvo's in. How much time is there? Spike plant has to happen, and it's dice where it'll go.
Oh wow, Martinez on the alert.
Still in towards mid. He could play late upset, perhaps a win condition, but the retake, we look at the annihilation from Angel to be the big win con here.
Can NAVI flood out?
Wait, what is the plan here?
Still waiting for this smoke to expire, but it's time instead. Those final grains dropping to the bottom of the hourglass.
There's no time, guys.
Martin starts to reveal his position, buys a little more time because, well, I tell you what, KC are going to need it on their side. Hero's starting to work on the defuse, and stepping in, Martin may be a moment too late. It's gone all the way.
He actually got him. Oh my.
Martin will die after time, but it's up as far as KC
he didn't even die.
Oh, what? He lived?
He
actually lived that. The cocoon didn't fully go off, but the point still stands. NAVI have map point, and
what a
5 rounds
retake. I was like, they have no time for that, and they still went for that, and they won so easily.
One round is all they need to put their hand into the next round in the lower bracket and survive. Just one match longer for KC, an underwhelming finish to their stage 1. A massive round to try and deal with a set play. Doesn't get the value that they're looking for. Martin noted by the
fast mid split.
Again, raising an issue for NAVI to deal with. As soon as they take
Martin is so uncomfortable with the jet. Okay, that's the first time he dashed on.
But this time their support. The mesh is there, and so's the sensor.
No, Hero, don't do
still
that.
with blades and an updraft. He finds himself over the top of Switch, but it's only going one way for now in the feed. Shao gets his 2. Can Angel find 2 more? He's got the first. It's a trade out 2-on-2.
Look at how low Sadak is. He at least has one info dart to try and know anybody. He'll get the information he needs. But how long is he going to be able to survive?
They kept going through lane, flash behind it. Sadak just hiding underneath the rail right now as the lane walk-up comes through from Koala. Elite, the healthy player. We have to depend upon him again. KC, the blue wall could crumble under the pressure of NAVI as they're putting it on.
Wait.
Elite has withstood at least that first player, but he has to go big where the rest of his team couldn't. To move on in their stead for KC, stage 1 hopes and dreams. Elite will continue where the rest could not. That's number 8, but how many more do we need?
I mean, we talk about CPR, resuscitation, that was a defibrillator. Electricity coursing through the veins of Elite to keep KC alive. NAVI now. What's the response? I mean, you look at the eco, this is where you would do something crazy on the defense.
With 4 rounds left here.
Oh, they're stacking
NAVI
B.
very likely sent back onto an eco at least one more time before this map is done, and that being one rifle in the hands of Koala already cut away, loose from the round.
Wait, you have a Guardian Angel.
Picking it back up, but still favoring the Sheriff.
All I'm gonna ask, NAVI, please do not use Xiao's ultimate.
Okay, well they can't hear you, mate, so we'll have to see if they go for it or not.
Still have that Guardian though. That's a big point to talk about because that's a bit of firepower.
And it's this stall as well into the late round, which makes things all the more concerning. Xiao maybe even thinking about using the ult here, just purely based on the positioning of these players. Looks like he might just send it in, and
why do
your
you
wish will not be granted. NAVI want to win it here and now. Xiao still on the site with a gun in hand, and those reinforcements just can't arrive soon enough.
Why do they use these ults? I don't understand.
KC will have a 9.
5v4 it into a 4v1.
Again without a NAVI ultimate.
Nah, bro, that's so...
Is it the real deal?
Yeah.
Just trying not to give much away here.
It's crazy too with the amount of points that requires to get up. I feel like so many times we've seen not just any old run-of-the-mill ultimate, not just your neural theft.
Yeah, like
sorry, Bear. You know, from the shadows, but like some really big round-defining ults are being just thrown into the fire.
Quite literally, mate. Like you're sitting there and you're like, listen, guy. It's like the Mourinho story with the Balotelli one, right? Like, listen, do not get a yellow card. Do not use your ultimate. Angel, please, do not use your ultimate. And then you come into the next round and they just send it, and you're like, oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
If you can find a way to pull it off, you look like a genius. But right now, I think NAVI on the receiving end more often than not.
But like you speak about, right, I know everyone speaks about like percentage plays and the numbers and let's crunch them, pushing up the glasses as Bren likes to say, but in these moments when it is literally playoff
I
life on the
would
line,
be shouting at
I
Xiao,
think the
why did he use your
your
My guy literally has nearly the same amount of kills as Angel when he top fragged last night.
Heading into this one, they're from the UK. That's
shoot!
Yes!
Yes!
How we carry on in EMEA, it's Koala that starts things off.
Wow, it's GG now.
Could this be the round for NAVI?
Oh, he
Sui has
tucked under
responded.
that shot.
There's still a player advantage with the defense, and they have util to fall back on both sides.
That they do.
And even the setup here for NAVI, you look at it, it's Sentinel players on either side of the map, so even if Aves had gone far, straight in with their ultimate, they were prepared for it.
Wait, look at how they're playing. Hero has a setup on B, but he's playing A with an Angel setup. That's genius. And they would not expect the traps to go off. It looks like a giant smiley.
To create a support network, and he's calling to his team. I've seen players on my cam, they're in short. Where does KC go here? There's a gap in towards tree, and that's exactly where they find to opt to go.
The question is, are they overcooking this a little bit too
yeah,
much?
They are.
Because,
they know.
as I say, bunkers on both sides
they
for
know
NAVI. Less than
much.
30 seconds in the plays through spawn.
Ruxic
watching over it, but as soon as that penny drops,
Yo,
there's problems for KC. Elite can at least solve it with a kill for now, but this is so chaotic, Cairo.
It is, and look at this, the Omen ultimate used to try and clear out here. No, instead,
Just play time, brother.
His opposite number, the sonic sensor gives the game away, but look at the deposit in mid. Sugetsu could be massive.
They're looking
here.
for it. They're looking.
Steps all on Sugetsu. Gets the first, and over his former captain, the wool is pulled over his eyes. Elite was just sweating when that sensor went off, hoping that the spike could go down.
If it's someone to close it out, it's him.
a split deck completely. One player main and one back from short. All of this heard by Elite. Koala straight into the firing line as KC continues.
This cannot go overtime. Come on.
Prime time boxing, dancing round one another. But with that being said,
again, the first blood, and nothing of it. It was a 3v5.
As it is, has his null command up
What
and
the fuck
available
was the
so they can
chant,
take
dude?
and get rid of any sentinel utility
what did they think
that's
they're doing?
possibly needed. But the other aspect to
Like,
it
actually,
is Navi's buy.
what do you
They
guys
are
think they're doing?
stricken once again.
It doesn't make sense.
Read into a double stack on A with both Hero and Angel. Mid presence made.
Oh wow, I like this pusher.
They want to
Oh,
flood
he
back in
headshot
towards
him.
E. Yeah, but this is the play that you make. Already Martin is low. Top gen is where he will dash to. And the null command comes in, but Navi have players in position. They are knocking on that door. There's just a couple players, guns in play, but
How
so
did that
quickly
just
dealt with.
happen?
KC have 11, and once again, we are at the very least guaranteed 24 rounds, but even then, whoever ends up losing this will feel hard done by. It's gone all the way down to the wire and then some.
That's on every single map, Hazza. We've had
the
full regulation, one overtime. I think overtime right here would be just. Both teams have a buy. Both teams have ultimates, which should find value. Koala Noob has decided to go for the glass cannon operator. Set play in towards B main hasn't found value. Wow.
Oh wow, this gap. That's nasty.
Running into traffic just yet because Shower shut it down. The mid lurk lost. All focus on
was
B
a
and Angel the
spam.
one to receive it. Right up against this wall.
What is
Sensor
he
by
aiming
his
at?
side. Drone comes in, it gets the info, and that's the reinforcement.
Wow,
in
Angel.
the duel, winning it. Navi in position. This rematch from the first game of kickoff.
Wow, all didn't even
Navi's
connect.
way.
It's gonna be 13-11 again. Fake comeback again.
So much support. KC are cornered.
Oh my god, they're so trapped right now.
You can barely get back past that mesh in main. The setup's over on A. Where do you go?
There's no way to go. That's the answer.
Sadak is trying to answer right now as they wait. See if Navi try and dry peek.
And they don't even know about flank. That's the
there's
worst
still
part.
35 seconds to work with here.
This from Ruxic as well, just another spanner in the works, playing around his own smoke and looks to take this fight on the chin, closing in. Navi in position.
GG's. KC got eliminated. GG.
This story will continue for them in the lower bracket, responding after being sent down by BBL. And unfortunately enough for KC, the wait will continue to return to another global event.
That's the question, right? It is how much
I
pressure is
cannot
this
imagine
roster under.
myself in
They brought in
13
Sadak to be the
years
guy to
playing
carry
this
the
game.
team forward.
Or like in 14.
I mean,
I don't even know.
the whole roster was built with the sights set on Paris. But closer to home, that's where the sights need to be set now, because there is real problems that they need to answer.
Think to their group stage as well, dropping to both Liquid and Foot late on in the groups. It's a frustrating one more than anything else now, because without the deep run, going out in this fashion with so many close series, just 6 rounds in it across the whole thing.
Yeah,
2 on each and every
elimination
map.
match.
A lot of work to be done before stage 2, but
So
I
NAVI
have to
just
say,
qualified for
Navi will be
Toronto.
happy to have taken this one
my
home,
god.
because you do see the improvements game on game.
Finally, man, finally.
A smile
I've been
of
waiting
relief
for
perhaps
so
on the
much.
face of Koala as they just keep on going.
I mean, that's it. keep on swimming, as we say.
Yes,
But
let's
Navi
go.
did
I'm
excellently.
happy.
Sure, there was a few lackluster rounds, a few
Yeah, they
slackness,
have
but I mean, they've bought
improvements to
themselves
do.
more time to work on that.
14,
As they
12,
look
11,
towards
13,
the upper
11, 30.
bracket to
It was
find out
such
who
a
their next opponent
close
is.
All about finding that consistency. Look, you
series.
think to the last few games, up
I just
until
want to
this
see
point for
the
Na'Vi, winning 2-0, then 0-2, then 2-0
highlights
again.
and then
You know,
ongoing.
just back and forth. The question on my mind is, can they keep it going any further into this lower bracket? Because we've already seen the promise of what this roster could be in spells, but again, it's that stability that we're constantly harking back to.
If they work on spacing well and not overthinking the calls,
I mean,
they might be really good, because sometimes they're just over rotate.
No. Into that next game, it's match by match. You don't get a lot of time to prepare.
On attack,
And
they're
I
just
think, like,
overcomplicating
in terms of your
things.
review from this game,
If they don't
what
do
can
that,
you
they're
really
just-
take from it if you're Navi?
They're just a
Well, that's what
top
we're going to start
3
to
team.
find out as we're going to toss it over to the stage. We have Yinsu waiting by with Xiao.
Wait, so who qualified for
Great day
Toronto?
to be a
It's
Navi
Heretics,
fan. They
Fnatic,
are
and
through.
Navi.
They survived
But what about
for another day.
Vitality?
I'm now joined by Xiao. Now, Xiao, I
Yay,
cannot
Xiao.
count how many times in the history of Valorant that you have been saved, bailed out, shined on Ascent. So many years of this map. So why is it taking so long for us to finally see it this split? Why haven't you guys been just choosing Ascent?
I will tell it like this. We have very unique coach stuff.
Okay.
And it's in good way.
It's in a good way.
In good
It's
way,
in a
of course.
good way,
Does it make your Ascent even better than before?
I mean, we won. We have 100% win rate on it, so yeah.
Would you
Good
personally
answer,
like
good
to play
answer.
Ascent a little bit more? Because you've never had a bad performance on Ascent.
Yes, I like Ascent and I would like to play it more.
Okay.
And I am trying to push my idea in the team, but sometimes their vision like more clear, let's say.
Maybe you've convinced them after the performance today. Let's talk about your personal performance, because we're so used to the Xiao show, you know? So
Xiao
many
show.
years of every map, you're the star, you're the best player on your team. But this year, it has seemed like you and some of your teammates have struggled with consistency. How have you found dealing with that?
You can deal only through like going through this like situations, like loses, hard loses, winnings, and from this you get experience, because we have 3 players. Like one of them played a bit in Fnatic in tier 1, but 2 are new to this scene, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
only experience and you need to go through, and we're just giving them time to understand, helping with them with some advices if they need, and we just work on that.
What about you personally? Because today you had an amazing map too, you know, Xiao is back, you're doing great.
Xiao
But
is
what about the
back,
times that
let's
maybe you
go.
felt like you're underperforming?
I'm just angry at myself, and it's like a fuel for me to perform better in the future.
Yeah,
So
it's good. It's
simple
good.
for me.
Yeah,
Are
I
you
would say
happy
the same.
with the way that you and your team performed today?
I mean, we won, so I'm happy, definitely happy, but we need to rewatch and see, like, maybe we could do it more clean.
Let me
Yeah,
give you
we-
something
they-
to be even
they could-
happy
they
about.
could.
I know it's haunted you and Angel a little bit to make playoffs and then go into that lower bracket where there's no second chances and
Yeah.
instantly lose to Heretics or another team, you know. It seems like a bit of a pattern last year, but you've broken that curse now. You have the momentum and you finally can stay in playoffs a little bit longer. So surely that's you can feel a bit more relieved about that one.
Yeah, sure, like, elimination match is always fun, because you, like, either win and eliminate enemy, which is, like, nice feeling, I'm not gonna lie. And it's also this pressure experience, highest pressure in the team, like, for players, it's like lower bracket when everything is, at price, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. But you have eliminated your former teammates to get to.
Yeah.
Bittersweet moment, perhaps? Or is there, you know, you wanted to beat him extra hard?
I mean, it's still a game. Yes, we are in different teams, and yeah, it's competition. One of us should lose at some point. So
Has to lose. Very brutal. Very, very brutal. But I'm glad you mentioned some of the younger players on your team. How proud are you of them? You know, some of the other members, like you said, they don't have experience in situations like this, but they performed so well today.
it seems when it's needed, they step up, and I like it because they have
Yeah,
a
it's
character,
true.
and it means they're potentially very good players, like in the future.
It was
but
a
they just need a bit of more
reverse comeback or
experience.
something like that.
It's good that we play more and more. We went through group stage. Now we have one more match in the playoff at least. So we will see.
And lastly, what is Navi's super weapon to give you guys this lower bracket run? How are you going to make it all the way to the final now? What is your win condition?
Just believe in our work in our hard work and just
Angel.
trust this process. It's that simple.
We believe, Shao. We believe. Your fans believe as well. So thank you very much for joining me, and we'll
Thank
see you
you.
in a couple of days.
Yeah, see you. Thank you, guys.
NAVI have made it through, but Elimination Day is not over just yet. Coming up after this, we're going to have Foot taking on against Vitality. Plus, Hero will be joining us on the desk. We'll see you after this break.
No highlights? Hello! I just want both to lose Vitality and friggin' Foot. Come on, bro. I don't want to watch this. Oh, it's 9:30 already. Oh no. Okay. What is he saying?
VLR's bugged. There's 2 splits. Yeah, it was third map aside. It's fine though. All right, what can we play while we wait?
While you wait. Come on, show me the. Oh, there's. Okay, whatever. I'm just going. I